Divine Sword of the Douluo Spiritual Pearl. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 26. The Aftermath of the Incident. Oppression from Contra. In the early morning, Tianlin woke up from meditation and exhaled a breath of turbid air from his mouth. This was a relatively complex part of his soul power. With the help of the Wahan meditation method, he could sort it out while practicing. The most refined ones were the ones he finally cultivated. Pure soul power. Phew, it feels so comfortable. Although those bastards yesterday were annoying, they are not useless. Tianlin felt a greatly increased soul power in his body, and his mood improved a lot. Yesterday, he fought so many people in one breath and almost exhausted his soul power. After a night of meditation, he not only recovered, but also broke through to level 19. After one more level, he can hunt for the second soul ring point. What made him even more delighted was that he finally got started with the 7 kills sword technique. It turned out that to understand the sword intention of the 7 kills sword technique, you don't necessarily have to kill people, you just need to have the intention to kill. Yesterday, when Tianlin made up his mind to kill those people, the majestic murderer Sora naturally condensed into his body. When he used the murderer Sora spread move, it was 100 times smoother and more powerful than when he practiced independently in the past. Tuck tuck tuck. Just when Tianlin was about to go out, there was a rapid knock on the door. Tianlin opened the door and saw that it was his class teacher, Teacher Zhao Yan. Teacher Zhao, why did you come to my place so early in the morning? It's not yet class time. Don't worry, I won't be late. What classes are you still taking? Do you know that you got into a big trouble? Zhao Yan was anxious. Did you chop off the ears of Chuji and Aldo last night? They sent people overnight. The families have been notified, and now both families have sent people to the academic affairs office. So, that's what happened. What's there to be afraid of? They came to mess with me yesterday. Besides, they don't dare to act wild in Xiandao Royal Academy, right? Tianlin was not afraid at all. Do you know who is coming? That Chuji is okay. His father is just the lord of a small town, and his soul power is not at the Soul King level. But the Orf family is different. His grandfather Orf is the top master in the Balak Kingdom, the head of the Ao family, and a contra with a soul power as high as level 81. It is said that he loves his grandson very much. He happened to come to Xiandao City to visit him in the past few days, and he will definitely not give up. Zhao Yan didn't know Tianlin's identity. It could be seen that she was really worried about Tianlin. As a teacher, she didn't want such a good prospect to be ruined like this. What worries her even more is that among the 3 major education committee members of the college, only Bebe Ocean is here today. The other 2 went to the palace to meet His Majesty. Bebe Ocean is a well-known good old man, and she is worried that he will not be able to suppress Orf. Don't worry, Teacher Zhao. Since they are coming to deal with me, I will go and meet them. Seeing that Tianlin was completely unmoved, Zhao Yan had no choice but to say, forget it, everything has happened. Please tell me exactly what happened last night. Don't miss anything. As long as it is information that is beneficial to you, can't let it go. Okay, last night, as the 2 walked, Tianlin recounted what happened. Zhao Yan's eyes lit up after hearing what happened yesterday. No matter how you looked at it, it was the other person's fault. To say that Tianlin could only be regarded as over-defense, in this case, as long as she tried her best to deal with it, and maybe at most she gave Tianlin a major punishment. The 2 quickly arrived at the academic affairs office. Before they entered, they heard an old voice roaring angrily, Bay Ocean, I gave my grandson to the care of your Xiandao Royal Academy, and you took care of him like this. Even his ears are gone. Mr. Ao, please calm down first. When Tianlin comes, we will review what happened in detail. Bebe Ocean's honest voice sounded as if he was trying to persuade. Although the 3 educational committee members of the academic affairs office are all very strong, they all have one shortcoming. All 3 of them are good people. If Tianlin said that any one of these 3 people is better than the old man named Ao, why do you treat him like this? Tolerance, HMPH. Wait for this little beast to come. Just. When Orf was about to curse, Tianlin opened the door and said, "Hey, old man, I'm here. What do you want?" There are 4 people in the academic affairs office at this moment. In addition to Ocean and Orf, there are also the victim Aldo and Tianlin's other teacher, Yiping. Point at this moment, when he heard Tianlin's arrogant words, he looked over at the same time. Zhaoyan was startled and said quickly, "I'm sorry, Mr. Ao, the kid is ignorant and was rude to you. Please forgive me." After all, Orf is Contra, and he is definitely someone Tianlin cannot afford to mess with. He shouldn't be fighting with him at this time. Teacher Zhao, there is no need to apologize to him, because I know that, even if I kneel down to him and admit my mistake, he will not let me go. Are you right, old man? Tianlin glanced at Orf and said disdainfully. After hearing this, Orf, who was originally furious, calmed down. As expected of the head of a big family, he can control his temper. Haha, boy, you are right. I have no intention of letting you go today. Just tell me, how do you want to die? As he spoke, Orf slowly mobilized his soul power, and the sunflower appeared in his hand. At the same time, 8 soul rings, 2 yellow, 2 purple, and 4 black, shone brightly. He actually planned to take action directly. He had already learned from his grandson that Tianlin was born as a commoner. Although he didn't know why he enrolled in Xiandao Royal Academy, which only accepted nobles, he was a Grand Duke and a Contra. Even if this civilian was killed, would the royal family still fall out with him over a dead man? Behind him, Aldo was looking at Tianlin proudly, and his meaning was very clear. If you dare to mess with me, this will be the consequences. I originally planned to destroy you, but since you don't know what to do, let's pay with your life. Stop. Zhaoyan stood in front of Tianlin. 4 soul rings, 1 white, 1 yellow, and 2 purple, appeared. At the same time, a pair of dazzling wings stretched out from her back. This was her martial soul, butterfly. A mere soul sect dares to stand in front of me? Orf smiled mockingly, and then his soul power exploded. To deal with the soul sect, he didn't even need to use soul skills. He only relied on soul power to suppress him. The other person can't breathe. Teacher Zhaoyan, don't be impulsive. That little beast is all responsible for this. It's not worth getting hurt for him. Yiping, who had been watching the show, suddenly became anxious. It was obvious that he liked Zhaoyan. Teacher Yiping, Tianlin is not a little beast, he is my student. There are still many things that have not been explained clearly about last night. How can you just rely on Mr. Orf's words to blame all the fault on my student? Zhaoyan suddenly became tougher. She may not be strong enough, but at this time, she will not back down. Mr. Orf is a Contra. How could he wrongly accuse a child? You'd better leave this matter alone and come to me. Yiping's meaning was also very obvious. On one side was Contra, and on the other he is a commoner with only 10 levels of soul power. Does it matter whether he is right or wrong? Taking sides is the key. Chapter 27. The threat of Yu Xianheng and Du Guyan. The royal fighter team appears. The atmosphere in the academic affairs office became increasingly tense. Seeing Zhaoyan's ignorance, Orf also became angry. Humph, since you want to die with your students, I will grant you permission. That's enough. At this moment, a Xiangxing furnace stood in front of Tianlin and Zhaoyan. Ocean finally took action. No matter how good a person he was, he could not watch the students and teachers of his college being bullied like this. 8 soul rings, 2 yellow, 3 purple, and 3 black, were beating on his body. In terms of soul ring configuration, he was actually slightly worse than Orf. Even though he had higher soul power, in a real fight, the chance of winning might not be 100%. Seeing Ocean take action, Orf also took back the sunflower. After all, Ocean's Xiangxing furnace's defense was too high, comparable to a titled Douluo, and he would not be able to win a fight. Ocean turned around and said, Tianlin, just now Aldo said that he came to you for a fair competition last night. He had obviously given up, but you still refused to let him go and forcibly cut off his ears. Is this true? Of course it's a lie. Yesterday he brought a group of people to beat me, including even Xianxi level students. I couldn't fight with 4 fists. In order to protect myself, I had to attack with all my strength. In the end, I couldn't hold back my hand and chopped senior Yi Lingling. Can also prove it. Although Tianlin is not afraid of them, he will not let himself be wronged. Oh, is that so? Teacher Zhao Yan, please go and call Yi Lingling. After hearing what Tianlin said, Baby Ocean became much tougher. Oof, before the truth is clear, I will definitely. You are not allowed to touch Tianlin. After Zhao Yan heard this, he immediately left the academic affairs office. In the sky at this time, a white-haired man showed a smile on his lips. He had been here for a long time, but unexpectedly, not even the two contrats in the academic affairs office could spot him. It can be seen that his realm has reached such a terrifying level. After a while, Zhao Yan came back, and with her Yi Lingling and Kinming. Kinming has been promoted to Xianzi level teacher, and the class he teaches happens to be Yi Lingling's class. Lingling, you're here. Did you see what happened in the grove last night? Could you please explain in detail? Yi Lingling was only an 11-year-old girl after all. Baby Ocean was afraid that she would be nervous, so he said in a gentle tone, yes, last night. Yi Lingling was about to explain truthfully. Suddenly, Orf interrupted. Wait a minute, classmate Yi Lingling, I hope you can recall what happened last night before speaking. I heard that your family, Jinuxin Haitang, is a single lineage, and your family is not very powerful. As long as you truthfully testify for my grandson, I can promise you on behalf of the Austrian family of the Balak Kingdom, to provide support to your family. Orf's words were both a threat and an inducement. He was telling Yi Lingling in a subtle way that a side of the family today would determine the survival of her family. What do you mean, threatening my students? Kinming was immediately dissatisfied, possessing the fire wolf, staring at Orf fiercely. Huh, Kinming, don't judge a gentleman with a villain's heart. Which of your ears heard Master Ao threatening Yi Lingling? Master was begging Lingling to tell the truest truth, so as not to let Ao. Mr. Er's grievance was in vain. Yi Ping was a complete coward, but Orf was very satisfied with his coward. This teacher understands justice well. This is the ethics that the Royal Academy should have. If Teacher Yi comes to our Balak Kingdom in the future, I will treat him well. Yi Ping was overjoyed when he heard this. Orf was trying to recruit him. This was much better than being a teacher in the academy. He quickly said gratefully, thank you, sir. After saying that, he looked at Zhao Yan with a squinting look. Teacher Zhao, Kinming is just a commoner. He won't achieve much in the future, so you should come to my side. I will definitely treat you well. HMPH, you really make me sick. Do you know why I like Kinming? Not only because he is more talented than you, but also because he is a wolf who is not afraid of power and has a righteous heart. And your his character and martial spirit are exactly the same. They are both cold-blooded lickers. Zhao Yan said angrily. Tianlin glanced at Zhao Yan in surprise. Unexpectedly, Teacher Zhao was really good at scolding people, and she didn't seem to realize that she had just confessed her love to Kinming. Kinming, a single wolf, had never had such an experience. Tianlin always felt that, after listening to Zhao Yan's words, his fiery red fire wolf became even redder. Baby Ocean looked at Yi Ping with an unkind look on his face. Did he mean to say that he wanted to change jobs in front of him? It's okay if he doesn't want to do it, but using the students of the college as a ladder for promotion would touch his back. At this time, Yi Lingling took a step forward and said to Orf, my family's future is determined by itself. I don't need to worry about it. Seniors, last night, it was Aldo who led people to beat up Tianlin, and even tried to destroy his soul power. Only then did Tianlin rise up to resist, and accidentally hurt Aldo. What she said was exactly the same as what Tianlin said. Now the truth was revealed. Baby Ocean said angrily, Oof, what else do you have to say? Tianlin is only 7 years old, and Aldo is an adult, with a group of if someone beats up a child, shouldn't others be allowed to resist? Orf's face was extremely ugly. He knew that he couldn't get rid of him today. At least in front of Baby Ocean, it was simply unrealistic to take action against Tianlin. He glanced at Tianlin and Yi Lingling fiercely. Very well, boy and girl, I count you lucky today, but I hope you will stay in the academy from now on. After all, anything beautiful in the forest will be destroyed by the wind. Outside, if you are like this, geniuses are easily killed, especially you, little girl, compared With Tianlin, he hated Yi Lingling, this ungrateful girl. He had already decided that after returning, he would immediately let the family use all its strength to attack Yi Lingling's family. He must make the Jiuxin Haitang lineage completely extinct. Lingling's safety is not secure. You, Master Contra, are worried. We will protect her. At this moment, 6 people suddenly walked in at the door. 5 boys and 1 girl, all about 11 or 12 years old. The leader had a stern face and a slender figure. More importantly, in addition to the emblem of the Xiandao Royal Academy, he also had the emblem of the Blow Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family on his chest. My name is Yu Xianheng. My grandfather's name is Yuan Zhen. My modern grandfather would like to say hello to my ancestors. After Yu Xianheng finished speaking, the only girl stepped forward and said, "My name is Du Guyan, and I'm Lingling's best friend. I would also like to say hello to the senior on behalf of my grandfather Du Qibao, Yu Anson and Du Qibao." Upon hearing these 2 names, Orf was immediately frightened and broke into a cold sweat. Yu Anson, among the 3 upper sects, was the patriarch of the Blow Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family and a 95th level titled Douluo. Du Qibao is known as the poison tyrant in the world. Although he is currently only level 91, once his poison is released, he can instantly turn a city into a dead place without any vegetation. He couldn't afford to offend either of these 2 people. Unexpectedly, Yi Lingling actually had the backing of the Blow Lightning Tyrannosaurus family and Du Qibao. No wonder she was not afraid of his own threats at all. This time, Yi Lingling couldn't move. Tianlin looked at these 6 people curiously. Together with Yi Lingling, they must be the Imperial fighting team in the original work. They are still very young at the moment, and their levels are all around level 25. They are still only Shy and C level students. But it seems that they have become very good friends. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 28 Chengxin appears. Since it's a misunderstanding, that's it for today. Teacher Baby Ocean, please excuse me. In the end, Orf chose to give in. He had no choice but to offend the 2 titled Douluo opposite him. Grandpa, can this be the end of it? Nothing has happened to this civilian bastard? But although was unwilling to give in, Yi Lingling would not move. But Tianlin, he was not going to let it go just like that. Orf doted on his grandson's head. Don't worry, I will get your justice back sooner or later. Boy, you are lucky today, but you are only fine for the time being. When you go out, remember to be more considerate. Hearing this, Baby Ocean's face turned ugly. He threatened his students in front of him and almost ignored him. However, due to his status, he could not make the first move. Otherwise he would be provoking the AO family. But just because he doesn't take action doesn't mean that others can endure it. At least there was someone in the sky who had injured it until now. In an instant, a huge and terrifying murderous intention fell from the sky, accompanied by his angry voice. Orf, you are fine, but I'm in trouble. Although Orf and Yiping were so overwhelmed by the murderous intent that they vomited blood, especially the weakest Orf, who felt like all the bones in his body were about to break. The strange thing is that under such huge murderous intent, everyone else is completely fine. It can be seen that the visitor has used his murderous intent to a superb level. What? A terrifying murderous aura, and the control is so subtle. There are only a few people in the world who can achieve this. 3 names instantly appeared in Tianlin's mind. Bibidong and Tang Heo are the only 2 people in the world who have the Killing God domain, and there is Sword Douluo Chengxin. His 7 kills domain is as murderous as the Killing God domain. Master, is it you? Tianlin suddenly raised his head and shouted. A flash of sword light flashed across the roof of the academic affairs office, and in an instant, the roof was cut open like tofu. Chenzin flew with his sword and stood proudly in the air. Sword Douluo Chengxin. Orf suddenly stuttered in fright. Sword Douluo Chengxin is more terrifying than Thunder Douluo and Poison Douluo. It is said that his soul power is so high that he has reached the level of a Super Douluo. Coupled with Ning Feng's his assistants, he could defeat 3 or 4 ordinary title Douluo by himself. Wait, why did that civilian boy call Chen Xin just now? Master, Kit, are you Sword Douluo's disciple? Oof. Plan to confirm again. He also hoped to hear a negative answer from Tianlin. Unfortunately, Tianlin only replied to him with 4 words. Direct disciple, you, why didn't you tell me earlier? Aldo was also completely frightened. If he had known earlier that this guy was a disciple of the title Douluo, he wouldn't have dared to touch him, even if he had the guts to do so. Tianlin waved his hand helplessly. You didn't even ask. You only asked me from beginning to end, who is my father, and who is my mother? Didn't I answer you truthfully? You don't have to be so honest. Aldo was about to cry. He knew that he had hit a brick wall. Now not only him, but also his own grandfather might not be able to please him. Chen Xin slowly descended with his sword. Oof, I heard clearly what happened from beginning to end. It was clearly your grandson's fault, but you kept relying on my disciple, and bullying the younger ones. You treat me like is he dead? He spoke very calmly, but anyone could hear the chill in his words. It was true that Chen Xin was strict with Tianlin, but it was also true that he loved him. As a master, he wanted to protect his disciples. As long as he is still alive, no one will be allowed to harm Tianlin. Your Majesty, what happened this time is all my fault. I shouldn't have tried to attack your disciple. I ask for your forgiveness. The Ballad Kingdom will be grateful to you in the future. Orf said in an extremely humble manner. There was no other way but a formality. He was stronger than others. He had the upper hand just now, so of course he could be arrogant. But in front of Chen Xin, he was as weak as an ant. I can forgive you, but you have to pay a price. Chen Xin held the 7-killed sword in his hand and waved it casually. Before Orf could react, one of his ears fell off. Thank you so much for your mercy. Orf endured the pain. He knew that this was already a very good ending. Losing an ear was at least better than losing a life. Bebe Ocean glanced at Tianlin and Chen Xin, thinking that these two were indeed master and disciple, and they both punished people in exactly the same way. Okay, get lost. Chen Xin waved his hand, and then thought of something. By the way, I just accidentally lifted the roof of the Academic Affairs office, but the reason is yours. Come back and help me pay for it. Although the Qibao Glazed sect does not lack this little money, cultivating an excellent soul master consumes a lot of resources. Chen Xin still thinks that, if you can save it, save it. Seeing through his inner thoughts, or fraud in his heart, then you should go out, knowing that you are wasting money, and you still want to lift the roof of someone else's house. However, he did not dare to curse out, so he immediately raised his hands and said, I understand, I'm leaving, Your Majesty. Oof. Did not dare to stay for a moment longer at this moment, and quickly left the place with his grandson. As expected, running away is also the time when potential is most unleashed. Orf's current speed is much faster than some agility type contrasts. I almost forgot, and you, as a teacher, helped to frame my disciples indiscriminately. The problem of protecting one's shortcomings from the dust has fully emerged, and even Yiping doesn't want to let it go. Because of Sword Douluo's murderous intent, Yiping kept kneeling there without daring to move. He only hoped that as a transparent person, Chen Xin could ignore him, but he didn't expect that he would still be unable to escape. I'm sorry, Your Majesty, I was wrong. I will definitely take good care of Master Tianlin in the future, and I promise that he will never make any mistakes in the future. Yiping still refuses to change his attitude. In fact, he does what he said. Things are the same as before. We are still on the same side, but now we are on Tianlin's side. The meaning of his words was not to teach Tianlin to be a good boy who never made mistakes, but that even if he made a mistake, it was someone else's, and he would always stand by Tianlin's side. This is equivalent to encouraging Tianlin to become a dandy. Chen Xin frowned. I finally taught Tianlin so well. You actually said in front of me that you would teach him bad things. I originally wanted to spare your life. Now it seems that it is still good to get rid of it. Seeing Sword Douluo's murderous intent gathering, Bebe Ocean took the lead and struck Yiping on the back with a palm, instantly dispersing all his soul power. Your Majesty, I have destroyed this person's soul power and will expel him from the academy. Please calm down. He was always kind-hearted. Even though he was very unhappy with Yiping, he was not to the point of wanting to kill him. Seeing this, Chen Xin withdrew the 7-killing sword and said, Bebe Ocean, you are a good person. Because you just protected my disciple, I will give you this face. Thank you, your majesty. Bebe Ocean breathed a sigh of relief. Master, when did you come? Seeing that the matter was over, Tianlin stepped forward and asked, I've always been here. Ever since you left the Qibao Glazed sect, I haven't been far away. Chen Xin replied. Chapter 29 Tianlin's thoughts and Zuking's arrangements. Master King, you have been spying on me. Tianlin complained silently. That's right. Chen Xin admitted without any hesitation. Although the teaching facilities of Xiandao Royal Academy are very good, the students here are really bad. I just want to see if you can do it when you come to a place like this. Those who fell under their influence, or who clung to power, lost their dignity as swordsmen. Chen Xin's words made Bebe Ocean's mouth twitch. He wanted to get angry but didn't dare. He knew that most of the students in his college were useless, but what you said was too straightforward. Chen Xin continued. However, after 2 days of reading, I'm very satisfied with the results. My cultivation has not stagnated. Not only has my soul power broken through, but I have also mastered the 7 kills sword technique. When facing powerful people, I'm neither humble nor arrogant, and do not show a trace of fear. This he is the disciple of my mortal heart. You. Xianheng admires Chen Xin for being so caring and responsible for his disciples. Yu Xianheng on the side stepped forward and said, he is the heir of the Blow Lightning Tyrannosaurus family. When he saw Chen Xin, the protector Douluo of the 7 Treasures Glazed sect, don't lose your etiquette. Oh, you are Yu Xianheng. Guran, the disciple of Old Bones, was beaten by you, right? Chen Xin glanced at him and asked expressionlessly, my Majesty, I'm joking. Classmate Guran and I are just fighting souls normally. It's just that my Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus spirit was too domineering, so I couldn't hold back for a moment. However, classmate Guran's skeleton warhorse also has amazing defensive power. I think he shouldn't be seriously injured, right? Yu Xianheng was not worried that Chen Xin would settle the score with him for this matter, as titled Douluo also wanted to lose face. Chen Xin nodded. In fact, Guran's injuries were not serious. They were all skin injuries. Judging from Yu Xianheng's strength, he probably held back deliberately. The other party did not want to provoke the 7 Treasures Glazed sect. Old Dragon King is really lucky to have a grandson like you. A gentle word of praise, coming from a strict person like Chen Xin, is already quite remarkable. Yu Xianheng looked proud, and was about to thank Chen Xin for his praise, when he heard him continue. However, I'm luckier than your grandfather, because it won't be long before my disciple will surpass you, and he is a real one. Genius. Tianlin was surprised for a while. He didn't expect that his master would praise him in front of outsiders. Yu Xianheng cupped his hands and said, my disciple is naturally not bad, but he is still young. If he wants to surpass me, it will be impossible without several years of hard work. During this time, I will continue to work hard. As the heir of a large family, Yu Xianheng has his own pride and firmly believes that he is not weaker than others. Chen Xin suddenly laughed. Haha, is that right? Then after my disciple breaks through level 20 and gets the 2nd soul ring, I will let him challenge you. Then, don't avoid the battle, okay? Yu Xianheng, am waiting for you at any time. Very good, then I don't have anything else to do. Zai Ocean, the master is really going back to the Qibao Glazed sect this time. You can practice well here, and remember the words of the master, never forget the original intention. After Chen Xin said, without waiting for Tianlin to say goodbye, Yu Jian disappeared into the sky. So free and elegant, it is truly the gift of an immortal. Seeing that the title Douluo finally left, everyone seemed to heave a sigh of relief, and the pressure on their bodies relaxed. The pressure from Sword Douluo was really too great. Senior Yi, thank you for your help this time. Brother Yu and Senior Debu, thank you for your support too. Tianlin did not forget to thank the 3 of them. With Sword Douluo man, you will be fine, even if we don't help you. Besides, the only one who testified is Ling Ling. If you want to thank her, just thank her. Yu Xianheng didn't want to take credit. Xianlin shook his head. One code is another code. Master can only guarantee my safety, but cannot prove my innocence. Therefore, I must express my gratitude to you, Xianlin. Understood very well that Li Lingling was naturally kind to him, but without Yu Xianheng and Du Guyan supporting her behind the scenes, she might not dare to tell the truth like this regardless of her family. Xianlin has clear grudges. Since they intend to be friends, he doesn't have to be too aloof. As Ning Fengzi said, he can't always be alone. You're welcome. Yu Xianheng smiled. Xianlin was smarter than he thought. Then let's take our leave now. Junior, I wish you can break through level 20 as soon as possible. I look forward to playing against you. The 7 future Huangdao people left, and Xianlin said silently in his heart, Huangdao, it looks good. Maybe I should join a team. Xianlin had an idea. He also needed a group of partners. In the future elite competition of soul masters across the continent, no matter how strong he was, he would not be able to defeat them all by himself. The 7 emperors are very good. Their qualifications are only slightly inferior to those of the Shrek 7 devils before they ate the fairy grass. Qianlin is confident that he can work with them to win the future Soul Master Competition Championship. To Qianlin, Tangsun is the protagonist group, and the golden generation of Wuhan Palace is the boss. Joining the protagonist group, or joining the big boss group can indeed win easily, but isn't that too boring? What Lin wants is to penetrate them all. After leaving the academic affairs office, Qianlin followed Zhaoyan back to his class. Now Zhaoyan was afraid to look at Qianlin. He originally thought he was just a genius boy, but he turned out to have such a big background. The most important thing is that she didn't tell herself yet, which made her so worried. What's even worse is that she accidentally confessed to her sweetheart under such circumstances. Now that Zhaoyan has remembered what happened just now, how should she see Kinming in the future? At the same time, in the East Palace of Xiandao Palace, Zuking was listening to his subordinate's report on the situation. Since he intended to take over Qianlin, he would naturally pay more attention to it. There was such a big movement today that Sword Douluo flattened the academic affairs office with his sword. He had already received the news, and the person who arranged it had told him all the ins and outs of the incident. Okay, what a great member of the AO family of Balak Kingdom. Zuking's eyes flashed coldly, and he whispered into the darkness, Uncle Shi, are you there? In the originally empty corner, a middle-aged man appeared at some point and said, I'm here, young master. Please give me your instructions. If you need anything, do me a favor. Go and kill someone, and cut off other ear. Zuking said coldly, do you just need to cut off his ears? Do you want to kill him? This Uncle Shi seemed to have no regard for Orth, who was at the contra level. He must also be a titled Douluo. Zuking shook his head, no need, the nature of killing someone has changed. The Balak Kingdom will definitely investigate the matter thoroughly, but if only one ear is cut off, the people of the AO family will think that it is someone from the Qibao Glazed sect. Come back, they are unreasonable, and will swallow their anger when it comes to Qianlin. I think Uncle Shi will understand what to say. Yes, young master. The man dodged and disappeared into the darkness. Uncle, CI, please go back to Wuhan Palace and tell that woman about this. The Balak Kingdom's military strength is not weak. She will definitely seize such a good opportunity. Zuking said to another corner. Orders were given. There was also a titled Douluo hiding in the darkness. She is worthy of being the daughter of the Pope, with such a strong protective force around her, and her own wisdom is also amazing. With this incident, she not only wants to drive a wedge between the Qibao Glazed sect and the Balak Kingdom, but also wants to find an opportunity to conquer the Balak Kingdom. She is not just trying to vent her anger for Qianlin. Chapter 30. Orth is attacked, and Qianlin is isolated. 3 full days have passed since the Orth incident. Qianlin went to and from class as usual these days. Now that his identity as the direct disciple of Sword Douluo was known to the whole school, naturally no one dared to mess with him for no reason. He also enjoyed his leisure time. He didn't want to pay much attention to those dandy boys. On the contrary, he always went to discuss with them the 7 members of the future Imperial fighter team. Like Qianlin, they all don't like to deal with Judes, so they are a small group of 7. Now that Tianlin has joined, it has become 8 people. No, it should be 9 people. Guran has recovered from his injuries and is back. When he was in the Qibao Glazed sect, he recognized Tianlin as the boss. He had no choice but to ask Tianlin to surrender to their eldest sister Ningran. His talent was slightly inferior to that of the 7 members of the Imperial fighting team, but it was not too different. They were also willing to accept him. What surprised Tianlin was that not only did Guran not have the slightest dislike for Yu Xianheng who injured him, but he was actually great admiration for him. After all, he defeated himself openly in a head-on battle without any tricks. Guran was convinced of his defeat. He understood the importance of the group. Only by following a strong group would he become stronger. On the contrary, he would be destroyed sooner or later. To everyone, Tianlin greatly appreciated his understanding. After a few days of contact, Tianlin also discovered that Yu Xianheng is actually a good person, strong and loyal. Although he is a bit arrogant, he has the capital, and his arrogance will not show up to people of the same class as him. Otherwise the other members of the Imperial fighting team would not recognize him as their boss. The most important thing is that this man is single-minded. It is said that he fell in love with Du Guan on the first day he came to Xiandao Royal Academy. Originally, with his status, women could line up in a company, but he rejected them all. Even if Du Guyan hasn't accepted him yet, he doesn't have the slightest intention of flirting with women. Dragon nature is inherently licentious, and this has not been reflected in him. This may also have something to do with Du Guyan's background. Yu Xianheng wants to get Du Gubo support. Tianlin can understand this, but Tianlin can also see that he really likes Du Guyan. Not it was completely selfish, very different from a certain irresponsible pervert in Shrek Academy. Du Guyan was the only woman in the original novel who was sincere to Tangsen from beginning to end. She talked the least to Tianlin and was an iceberg beauty. However, according to Tianlin, she wouldn't be able to hold on for long under Yu Xianheng's offensive. The 2 brothers Shimo and Shimo have the best relationship with Tianlin at present, because these 2 brothers are stupid. In their opinion, although Tianlin is a genius, he is too young after all. As a senior, he should take care of his juniors. This kind of person, in Tianlin's previous life, was simply called a good old man. Needless to say, Yi Lingling was kind to Tianlin and had a mature personality. Tianlin was almost 30 years old in his previous life, and in this life, but for some reason he always acted like a younger brother in front of her. There are also 2 agility type soul masters, Yufeng and Oslo. Yufeng has a calm personality and has no sense of presence, while Oslo is a complete showman and takes care of his hair every day. This will be the future 7 Emperor Dao. They have made a promise that they will definitely participate in the Continental Soul Master Elite competition in the future and win the championship. They are also very welcoming to the arrival of Tianlin and Guran, because these 2 people are not only very qualified, but most importantly, they can make up for the team's shortcomings, because their team originally only had 1 attack type Soul Master. Yu Xianheng, the addition of Tianlin and Guran greatly increased the team's variability and made up for the shortcomings in attack. Even the Shrek team in the original book prepared for substitutes in order to cope with the complicated competition. A team of only 7 people was not enough. On this day, Tianlin finished his morning theory class and planned to leave. Unexpectedly, as soon as he stood up, the students around him subconsciously moved away from him, as if they were frightened by him. What the hell? Tianlin was confused and didn't know what was going on. Not only that, when he was walking on the road, all the students looked away from him, as if they were seeing the Lord of Hell. When he arrived at the training ground, he saw the only 7 Emperor Dao who were not afraid of him. Graphite Shimo came up to him from a distance and said anxiously, Xiaoshan, I think your Qibao Glazed sect is too cruel, right? Hard. Brother Shi, what are you talking about? Tianlin couldn't understand at all. Don't you know? Just 2 days ago, Orf and Aldo dropped out of school. On their way back to the Balak Kingdom, they were attacked by an unknown strong man. Aldo was seriously injured. Orf's only remaining ear was chopped off, and now there are rumors outside that this is your Qibao Glazed sect's revenge. Yi Lingling Shu said. Tianlin immediately denied it. It's impossible. Our Qibao Glazed sect took revenge on the spot and would never resort to such petty tactics. also believe that this was not done by you. Yu Xianheng speculated. The fact that these two people are not dead and one of their ears fell off is the best evidence. The person who did it obviously didn't want to make the matter big enough to start a war, since the Ao family is not reasonable in this incident, and there is no direct evidence to prove that the second attack was carried out by your Qibao glazed sect. The Balak royal family has no choice but to let it go. But, the seeds of hatred and suspicion have been planted, right? Because the only one with this motive and the ability to attack off is our Qibao glazed sect. Tianlin said, but the way is to cut him off. We can't clean our ears, even if we jump into the sea. Tianlin's expression was ugly, and he was quickly screening in his mind. Not long after the incident happened, Orf was immediately attacked, which meant that the person who did it could quickly know what happened at Xiandao Royal Academy. Well, in addition to the Qibao glazed sect, there are a few people who also fit the situation, including the 3 education committee members, Qibao and the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family. However, they were all excluded one by Tianlin. And the 3 education committee members had no reason for the Qibao glazed sect to become enemies with the Balak kingdom. Qibao and the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family will not meddle in this kind of business. By the way, Tianlin quickly locked his target, Zuking, or Qian Ringsu. She has both the motivation and the strength. Moreover, this matter can be said to be beneficial to her. Firstly, it instigated hatred between the Qibao glazed sect and the Balak kingdom. Secondly, it left a bad image in the heart of Emperor Zuyi that the Qibao glazed sect will definitely retaliate. Thirdly, let other students in the college fear Tianlin because of this incident and thus be isolated. If Tianlin guessed correctly, she would come to visit him soon. After all, she was the only one who cared about him when he was isolated. This would definitely make his immature self deeply moved, and he would even be grateful to her. It's a pity that Tianlin is not as immature as she thought. Although his physical age is only 7 years old, his mental age is at least 27. Tianlin even thought that the Wuhan Palace would definitely take some action against the Ao family of the Balak kingdom. He remembered that in the original book, after the Wuhan Empire was established, the Balak kingdom was the first one to conquer to be able to take down a powerful military country so easily. In addition to the amazing strength of Wuhan Palace itself, there are probably other factors that are indispensable, such as internal cooperation. In this case, Tianlin may be able to make a fuss in the future. After all, although the Ao family is strong, they are only the Grand Duke, not the royal family of the kingdom. This difference gives Tianlin many opportunities to fight back. Chapter 31 Fellow Practitioners. The Power of Martial Soul Fusion. Brother Yu, the 2 brothers Shiz, Yufeng, and sisters Lingling and Yanzi, I won't be training with you today. I think there should be a guest waiting for me in my room. Tianlin smiled and said he waved his hand and left the training ground. Wait a minute, why did Xiaoshan say goodbye to all of you, but only he ignored me? Oslo said unhappily. Nonsense, don't you know that Xiaoshan always wants to beat you up after seeing your coquettish look? Xiamo complained ruthlessly. TCH, what do you mean by a coquettish bag? I'm paying attention to my image as a handsome man. Oslo said, and took out another mirror. Is it possible that my hair is messed up today and Xiaoshan doesn't like it? You'd better not say this in front of him. I'm worried that Xiaoshan will take out his demon suppressing sword and chop you. To be honest, I'm not kidding. Yi Lingling's cold words came. Oslo was stunned for a moment. He didn't expect that among the 7 people, he was the least popular after Tianlin separated from Yu Xianheng and others. He went straight back to his dormitory and found that the door was open and someone had obviously entered. Sure enough, beside his desk, Zuking was browsing his notes. Fortunately, it's not a diary, otherwise all his secrets would be exposed, but he doesn't write anything like that. Who would write a diary? Brother Zu, why are you here? Tianlin stepped forward and asked. Hearing Tianlin's voice, Zuking put down the notes in his hand and said with a smile, I'm here to see you. I've heard about Orf. Why don't you come to me for such a big thing? I will definitely solve it perfectly for you. You see how tense the relationship between Qibao glazed sect and Balak kingdom is now. The tense relationship is not what you want to see. Tianlin cursed in his heart, but said, I know, Brother Zu, I was impulsive this time. If I encounter trouble in the future, I will ask you for help as soon as possible. That's right. If you need anything in the future, come to me. Zuking nodded with satisfaction. He just wanted Tianlin to have this idea. Once his dependence on him becomes more and more serious in the future, even if he recovers Kanrinksu with his identity, Tianlin might choose to follow him and abandon the Qibao glazed sect. He is a person with a strong desire for control. Since he has decided to conquer Tianlin, Tianlin can only be his. There was one thing that made him very dissatisfied. That is, he asked Tianlin to come to Xiandao Royal Academy. In addition to bringing him closer to him, he originally hoped that he could compete with Yu Xianheng. Once Douluo, the future protector of the Seven Treasures glazed sect, and the heir of the Blow Lightning Tyrannosaurus family were incompatible, it would definitely affect the relationship between the two families, so he would speak out to provoke them when he was in the sect. What he didn't expect was that instead of becoming enemies with Yu Xianheng, Tianlin and Yu Xianheng became friends because of the bond between Yi Lingling, and his plan completely went in the opposite direction. Disobedient children really need to be disciplined. Zuking felt a trace of malice in his heart. Tianlin felt a sudden chill on his body, as if he was being targeted by something dangerous. By the way, Xiaoshan, I read your notes. It seems that you have been studying soul beasts with attribute powers, right? Zuking is really attentive. From Tianlin's records of soul beasts, then I discovered what Tianlin was studying. There is nothing to deny this. Tianlin said directly, yes, in order for my sword to grow, it needs to absorb soul rings with various attributes, so that's it. The only attribute contained in that sword is water. No wonder it can't exert the power that a god-level martial spirit should have. Maybe he needs to help. After returning home, let Uncle Shi go back to Wuhan Palace to get some information on soul beasts. The soul beast information collected by Wuhan Palace is definitely the most comprehensive on the mainland. Well, Brother Zhu, do you have anything else to do? Tianlin asked. In fact, he hoped that Zuking would leave quickly. Being with him was really stressful. One more thing. Come, follow me to the bed. Zuking suddenly stood up and walked to the bed. Tianlin was immediately stunned with fright. Kanrinksu wouldn't want to use force on him. You should know that he was only 7 years old and the tools for committing crimes hadn't grown yet. Could he be a little impatient? It wasn't until Zuking sat cross-legged on the bed and started to use his soul power that Tianlin realized that he was wrong. It turned out that he wanted to practice with him. Come on, Xiaoshan, sit in front of me and face my palms. I feel that our martial arts are very compatible. Maybe we can not only fuse, but also assist each other in practice. Zuking said. Tianlin also knows the possibilities and benefits of this. Just like Huoyu Heo and Wang Dong in the future, they can use the power of martial soul fusion and Heo Dong's power to practice, which is much faster than practicing alone. Tianlin didn't hesitate and sat across from Zuking River, facing his palms in an instant. The soul power of the two people merged together without any barrier. Zuking was overjoyed and immediately started using the family's angel meditation method, while Tianlin also subconsciously used the Huayan meditation method. The two most advanced meditation methods, coupled with the power of martial soul fusion, help each other, and the soul power increases at an incredibly fast rate. 2 hours later, the two of them woke up from their trance. Tianlin felt that his soul power had improved a lot. If he continued to practice at this rate and practiced with Zuking a few times, he would soon be able to break through level 20. On the other hand, Zuking's side was not as effective as Tianlin. His cultivation speed was indeed faster than before, but not much faster. This was all because his soul power was much higher than Tianlin's. There was such a huge gap. Under the circumstances, he was the only one who helped Tianlin, and Tianlin's help to him was pitiful. But what surprised him was that due to the cooperation with the Huayan meditation method, the soul power in his body was actually purified. For him now, this is more important than the improvement of soul power, because it is related to the future. The inheritance of divine status. What an amazing power of fusion. You can actually refine your soul power while practicing. Xiaoshan, you are really my lucky star. Zuking hugged Tianlin into his arm. Tianlin only felt that it was so flat. This kind Rinxu was not fully developed yet, or her transformation skills were too perfect. Even this place shrank when she turned into Zuking. Xiaoshan, how about you stop living in the dormitory from now on and come to the East Palace to live with Brother Zhu? You can feel it too, how powerful our fusion power is. Although we can't use martial soul fusion skills now, as long as if you work hard, you can do it one day. Zuking said excitedly. No need, Brother Zhu. I'd better live in the dormitory. My friends are all here, and I don't want to be separated from them. Tianlin quickly refused, joking, and lived with Zuking. Within a few days, his secrets were revealed. Zuking frowned. He wanted to say, you don't need any friends. I'm enough. It's a pity that now he is a wise prince, not the willful eldest daughter of Wuhan Palace. He can only say, okay, but you have to promise me that you will come to the East Palace every few days. This power of fusion is of great benefit to both you and me. We can't let go of such a good opportunity to practice. Tianlin knew that this was Zuking's bottom line. If he refused again, he was afraid that he would send a titled Douluo to kidnap people, so he immediately nodded and agreed, which barely satisfied Zuking. Chapter 30 To the power of Xiangsu breaks through level 20. Zuking stayed in Tianlin's room until dusk, then reluctantly prepared to leave. There is no way. The feeling of being a fellow practitioner with Tianlin is so good. If his current persona is not that of a wise prince, he will definitely kidnap Tianlin back in minutes. By the way, Xiaoshan, let's give the fusion power just a name. What do you think? Zuking said suddenly. It's not impossible to choose a name like Huou Heo and Wangdong's Heodong power in later generations. Tianlin nodded. Okay, how about we use the words in our names? My sky and your river. How about calling it the power of the Xian? No, it's called the power of Xiangsu. Zuking modified. Compared to King, I still prefer the word Snow, Zhu. King smiled brightly, and no one would find it strange to say this, because Zuno was the national surname of the Xiandao Empire, and it was perfectly normal for a prince to be proud of his national surname. But in fact, only she herself knows that the real reason is that her name is Snow, which was given to her by her respectable father within the next month. Tianlin kept his promise, and would go to the East Palace every few days to practice. With Zuking using the power of Xiangsu. After all, it really smells good. The cultivation efficiency increase of Xiangsu's power is much stronger than that of Holy Breath Barrier without Soul Ring attached. The thing Tianlin lacks most is time. With the help of Xiangsu's power, Tianlin originally expected to take at least 2 to 3 months to break through the level 20 soul power, but he reached it in more than a month, which made him extremely happy. This meant that he could hunt for the second soul ring point. When they came to the training ground where Yu Xianheng and others often came, and told them about his breakthrough, they were completely shocked. At level 20, and over 7 years old, was this cheating? Oslo looked around Tianlin, poking his little face, and raising his arm. Xiaoshan, are you really a human? You can't be a soul beast rebuilder? When I was 7 years old, I was only hovering around level 10 or level 20, which is too exaggerated. Oslo, those who rebuild soul beasts are all beasts with martial souls. Don't you know that my martial soul is a sword? And if you have any physical contact with me again, don't blame me for being ruthless under the sword. Tianlin endured the chop. Human Impulse said, let me tell you, Xiaoshan wants to kill you for more than a day or two. Although Yi Lingling said few words, he was very poisonous. Her ability to save people and her sharp tongue are completely proportional. Xiaoshan, congratulations. It seems that our agreement will be fulfilled soon. I'm waiting for you to come back with the second soul ring. Yu Xianheng patted Tianlin on the shoulder and smiled. What he was talking about was Chen Chen. Zinzin made an agreement with him that when Tianlin obtains the second soul ring, the two of them will have a fair fight. This is a good thing. Competition leads to progress. Qinming and Zhaoyan came over. They have now officially become a couple. Qinming is very optimistic about these children in front of him. He plans to train them with all his strength, and then let them shine in the continent-wide Soul Master Elite competition. A few years later, when he was studying in the academy, he was unable to participate in the competition due to Shrek Academy's irregular relationship, which he cited as a lifetime regret. But now, if he can cultivate a group of geniuses who are good enough to win the championship, then he can count on it. Comforted, Zhao Ocean, do you need me to help you hunt for the second soul ring? Zhao Yan said, my soul skills are very suitable for hunting soul beasts. When you get the soul ring and come back, Qinming said that he can arrange a few of you to fight. Sex training. Zhao Yan's martial spirit is a butterfly, but she is a control type. Tianlin has never understood how Zhao Yan can control a butterfly as a martial spirit. After asking him proactively, Zhao Yan told him her soul skills is to spread various powders, poison powder, paralysis powder, sleep powder, etc. Relying on these, she is indeed the best candidate to assist in hunting low-level soul beasts. Letting the soul beast sleep doesn't mean you can do whatever you want with it. However, Tianlin shook his head. No, my master has warned me not to hunt soul beasts at will. After reaching level 20, I must return to the 7 treasures glazed sect. He will choose the soul beast for me. Hearing this, Zhao Yan and Qinming were not forcing it. After all, it was the request of the titled Douluo, and for an outstanding disciple like Tianlin, any teacher would definitely try their best to train him and prevent him from making mistakes in his cultivation. They all understood. Dusty thoughts. In fact, the real reason is that Shenzhen is worried that if Tianlin follows the people from Xiandao Royal Academy to hunt soul beasts, in order not to expose the secret of the twin martial souls, he will not be able to use the holy breath barrier, so naturally he can only hunting soul beasts that are around the limit of the second soul ring for about 700 years for Tianlin, whose first soul ring was 600 years ago. This was undoubtedly a waste, and Shenzhen would not allow it. His disciple's second soul ring must be 900 years or more. Even though the difference is only 200 years, the increase in various attributes is very large, and the power of soul skills is also different. Tianlin said goodbye to everyone temporarily, and embarked on the journey home. This section of the road is not far, and he does not need any guards. With the strength of a soul master, he can reach Qibao mountain in half a day by running with all his strength. Tianlin moved forward at full speed and arrived at the foot of the mountain 3 hours later. However, he did not go up the mountain immediately. Instead, he went home to meet his parents first. Jun Xianhei and Mo Lan were naturally overjoyed to see their son return. But compared to Mo Lan, who was only happy because he missed his son, Jun Xianhei thought more and asked seriously, Xianlin, I heard from people from the Qibao Glazed sect. Didn't you go to Xiandao Royal Academy to study? You came back so soon. Could you be skipping school? What are you talking about? My son is so good. How could he do such a thing? Molan suddenly stopped complying. Tianlin was her heart and soul, and even the child's father was not allowed to slander him. Sure enough, many dinders are actually spoiled by mothers who dote on their children. Fortunately, Tianlin's soul is mature, and he can barely stick to his heart. No, father, it's actually my soul power that has exceeded level 20. When I came back this time, I asked my teacher to help me hunt for the second soul ring. Tianlin's words were so shocking that Jun Xianhei shivered in fright. He has been practicing all his life at level 20, but now he is only around level 23. Is this son really his own? The gap is too big. I'm afraid that when Tianlin hunts for his second soul ring, he, as a father, won't be able to beat him. It's really time to beat the child as early as possible. He really regrets it. From now on, his father's majesty will not be left at all. In fact, Tianlin wanted to tell him that you can no longer defeat me. In addition to level, he also has powerful martial arts such as Shushan sword technique and 7 kills sword technique. Besides, the quality of the martial arts spirits on both sides is not at the same level. But since Jun Xianhei is his father after all, Tianlin should not irritate him. Chapter 33. Arriving at the Star Forest. 3 days later, Stardao Forest. Shenzhen and Tianlin have arrived at the edge of the gathering place of soul beasts that day, after Tianlin returned to the Qibao Glazed sect and told Ning Fengzi, Shenzhen and others that he had broken through level 20. They were completely dumbfounded like his parents. It had only been more than a month since Shenzhen returned from Xiandao Royal Academy, and he had broken through the bottleneck again. Shenzhen was frightened that he thought he had used some method of subverting the situation. Fortunately, after testing, it was found that Xianlin's soul power was more refined. It was pure and honest, obviously obtained through normal cultivation, which made him feel relieved. Although this cultivation speed is a bit uncharacteristic, if it is applied to Tianlin, it does not seem to be so unacceptable. Just like this, under Gurang's sour expression, as if he had drunk Vinegar, Chenzin led him triumphantly. Follow Tianlin to hunt for the second soul ring. It is conceivable that Gurang will have to be trained by Gurang again in the future. He has been oppressed by Chenzin for a lifetime, and now his apprentice has to be oppressed by Chenzin's disciple for a lifetime. How can he bear this? However, now Chenzin is also worried about his apprentice. For no other reason, he is too courageous. Xiaoshan, do you really want to absorb a 1000-year soul ring? From my point of view, with your current mental strength and physical fitness, coupled with the assistance of the holy breath barrier, a 900-year-old soul beast is the best choice. You can basically be sure that your chance of success is 100%. However, once we enter the millennium, it will be completely different. The probability is less than 60%. Tianlin smiled calmly. 60%, isn't that more than half? Soul Master is a dangerous profession. Only with challenges can there be rewards. In fact, there is another reason why Tianlin is so bold, and that is the Huayan meditation method. Since he switched to this top level meditation method, his soul power has become too pure. In terms of quality, his first level soul power is equivalent to about 1.5 to 2 levels of ordinary soul masters of the same level. Therefore, Tianlin's actual combat power is comparable to that of a high level soul master at level 27 or 8. After absorbing the second soul ring, he can even compete with a soul master who has just entered level 30. There are rewards only when there are challenges. That's right. In this case, I won't advise you anymore, but remember, you must persevere no matter what. A look of love flashed in Chenzin's eyes. He has no children in his life. Tianlin is his only disciple, and he is ready to pass on everything he has to him. Don't worry, Master. Then we have to consider what soul beast to look for next. This time my target is the fire attribute. I have thought of a few, including the Fire Lord, the Fierce Arrow Condor, the Volcano Orangutan, and the King of the Earth. What do you think? Tianlin mentioned several of them. Chenzin thought about them and rejected them all. If your goal is only about 900 years, these ones are really good, but since they are 1000-year soul beasts, then the aggressiveness of these ones is not good. It's just too strong. The more aggressive the soul beast is, the more violent the soul ring will be, and of course the soul skills will be stronger. Although Chenzin agreed to let Tianlin absorb the 1000-year soul ring, it didn't mean that he wasn't worried at all. So this time, he wanted to find a soul beast with a relatively gentle personality and no aggression. Anyway, what Tianlin wanted was just the attributes in the soul ring. By the way, that guy seems pretty good. After all, Chenzin is the protector Douluo of the 7 Treasures Glazed sect. Although he doesn't really like to study the knowledge of soul beasts, under the influence of Ningfengzi, he knows a lot more than ordinary people. No, he quickly thought of a suitable guy. Immediately, Chenzin grabbed Tianlin and rushed in one direction with his sword. The temperature around them gradually began to rise, and they had obviously arrived at a place that fire attributed soul beasts liked. Master, what is it that you want to take me to find? Tianlin couldn't restrain his curiosity and asked. Purple. Fire Golden Eyes Beast. Chenzin replied with a name to Tianlin. Purple. Fire. Does it mean purple flame? Then does this purple fire turn purple because of high temperature or special ability? Tianlin asked a very critical question. The difference between these two is very big. If it is the first type, it means that the fire attribute energy of the purple fire golden eye beast is very strong. The temperature of the flame determines the color of the flame. As the temperature rises, the flame changes from red-orange, 3000 degrees, to yellow-white, 4000 degrees, to cyan blue, 5000 to 6000 degrees, to purple. Above 7000 degrees, constant change point. If the purple fire golden eyes beast achieved purple color purely by relying on temperature, it would not be simple. Unfortunately, Chenzin shook his head. If that was the case, how could he lead his apprentice to hunt for such a dangerous soul ring? The Reason why the purple fire goldeneye beast's flame is purple is because it is a poisonous fire, but this poisonous fire is not fatal. Its only use is to seal the opponent's soul power. Chen Xin explained. Point in other words, the purple fire goldeneye beast's attack ability is actually very weak. Absorbing such a soul ring is indeed safer for today's Tianlin. Ocean, you have to be careful later. Although the purple fire goldeneye's beast is not very powerful in combat, in addition to its ability to seal soul power with flames, it also has two characteristics. One is that it is very intelligent, and the other is that it is very alert. With its glowing golden eyes, it can see even how many legs a mosquito has within a few kilometers. Because of these 2 points, it often becomes the royal advisor of some groups with developed limbs and simple minds, such as the volcano orangutans you mentioned before. In other words, if you want to hunt the purple fire goldeneye's beast, you will have to face an entire ethnic group, right? Tianlin understood the meaning of Chen Xin's words. Yes, the purple fire goldeneye's beast is despicable by nature, and will do anything to achieve its goals. The several beast tides that have been launched in the Stardow forest have the shadow of the 10,000-year-old purple fire goldeneye's beast behind them. Chen Xin was killed by Ning Fengzi because of relationships. Don't think that strength is everything. Sometimes, wisdom is really more terrifying than strength. Fortunately, what we are hunting this time is just a 1,000-year-old purple fire and gold-eyed beast, and its intellectual growth should not be that high yet. Chen Xin said as he landed on the ground. Point as I said just now, the strongest thing about the purple fire golden-eyed beast is its wisdom and eyes. Flying high in the sky, it is really too conspicuous. The two of them were walking in the jungle. This place was still on the outskirts of the Star Forest. The spirit beasts that appeared were not very strong. Most of them had been cultivated for 10 years or 100 years, and the strongest ones were only about 10,000 years old. Because of the existence of Sword Douluo, even the most ferocious spirit beasts did not dare to attack them. But at this time, Tianlin realized something was wrong. Master, don't you think there are too many soul beasts around? Think back when I went to the soul hunting forest. Because of Sword Douluo's sharp sword energy, the weak soul beasts didn't even dare to attack, let alone attack. Could it be that the soul beasts in the Stardow forest are even more powerful than the hunting souls in the same age? Is the soul forest so much stronger? Sword Douluo smiled slightly, quite satisfied with his disciple's agility. Yes, it's a bit too much. Rather than saying that these spirit beasts are afraid of me, it's better to say that they are surrounding them without attacking. It seems that we have been discovered by the purple fire goldeneye's beast. Chapter 34 Purple fire goldeneye's beast. The two stopped and unknowingly fell into the trap of the purple fire golden-eyed beast. Those 100-year or 1,000-year-old spirit beasts that seemed harmless just now had actually slowly gathered together. Tianlin and Sword Douluo seemed to have changed from hunters to prey. Looking at the many soul beasts glaring at them, Chen Xin smiled and said, Tianlin, master will teach you another lesson today. In the face of absolute strength, no matter how strong your wisdom is, it is useless. After that, the 7 killing sword appeared in his hand. At the same time, 2 yellow, 2 purple and 5 black, a total of 9 souls began to rotate around Chen Xin's body. The huge and cold murderer saw a spread. Even if Chen Xin did not open the 7 kills domain is enough to control one's murderous intent. In the darkness, a golden-eyed soul beast was completely stunned. I originally thought it was 2 ordinary soul masters, but I didn't expect that one of them was actually a title Douluo. That was a terrifying existence that could rival a 100,000-year-old soul beast. Ordinary 100,000-year-old soul beasts, no matter how numerous they were, could not be his opponent. The golden-eyed soul beast began to retreat, but little did he know that it was okay not to move. As soon as it moved, Chen Xin immediately discovered its traces. Haha, you are indeed one of the smartest soul beasts. When you see that the situation is not good, do you want to retreat immediately? Chen Xin appeared behind the soul beast as if he teleported. Purple fire golden-eyes beast, you are indeed very smart. It's a pity that what you have in less than 10,000 years is just a little cleverness. If you don't move, it will be difficult for me to find you surrounded by so many wild soul beasts. The soul beast in front of Chenzin looked like a wolf dog, with golden fur and golden eyes, and there seemed to be a purple flame burning in the pupils. Looking at your body shape, you should be just over 1,000 years old, just right for my apprentice. After Chenzin said this, he took action without hesitation, and a strong sense of oppression was released from the long sword. Roar. At this moment, the purple fire golden eye beast suddenly roared. This was a signal for him to summon his subordinates, but its order seemed not to attack Chenzin to rescue him, but to order all the soul beasts to attack Tianlin. To besiege Wei and rescue Zhao. An ordinary soul master would have to go back to rescue him, but Chenzin didn't have to. The second soul skill, Spirit Sword Guard. Zin swung the 7 kills sword, and immediately the long sword flew in front of Tianlin. The powerful sword energy formed a protective shield. This was a defensive soul skill, which immediately blocked all the soul beasts from the sword energy. They cannot attack Tianlin. Upon seeing this, the purple fire golden-eyed beast shot out a ray of fire in its eyes. This was its soul skill, soul sealing purple fire, which could seal part of the opponent's soul power. Chenzin did not dodge, and was completely enveloped by the purple fire. The purple fire golden-eyed beast was overjoyed. The titled Douluo spirit in front of him was no longer in his hands, and part of his spirit power had been sealed by him. As long as the beasts surrounded him, he would most likely complete the counterattack. Following its command, the beasts immediately abandoned Tianlin, who was protected by the spirit sword, and turned to Chenzin. At this time, a cold voice came from the flames. Even if the sword is not in my hand, my edge will not be weakened in the slightest, because I'm the sword. Tianlin, watch carefully. This is the true spread of murderous intent in the 7 kills sword technique. Zin used his arm as a sword, and when he swung it at will, he released countless fierce sword energy. Each sword energy contains strong murderous intent. Just the shock of the murderous intent could make people lose their will to fight. After a moment, Chenzin not only broke through the flames on his body, but all the surrounding soul beasts were injured by the sword energy. Sword Douluo, the most powerful attacker, was already showing mercy. If he really intends to go on a killing spree, I'm afraid that all the soul beasts here will have no survivors. However, his target today is only the purple fire golden eye beast. The other guys can find a way to survive. After all, it is not easy for soul beasts to grow. If you kill one, you will lose one. Chenzin also thinks about the future. Apart from hunting soul rings for necessary training, he will basically not hunt soul beasts at will. Therefore, given his strength and status, he does not have a few soul bones in his body, and his mind is so indifferent. This is probably the reason why his strength has always surpassed the more utilitarian bone Douluo. Ziocean, come here. This purple fire golden eye beast has no will to fight anymore. Now is the best time to absorb its soul ring. Zin really cares about Tianlin. He has been releasing murderous intent today. In fact, just to destroy the will of this purple fire and golden eyes beast. Just like Liu Erlang tortured the king of earth in his doubtful life in the original work. After losing his desire to survive, Mahanjan absorbed its soul ring with great ease. Purple fire golden eyes beasts are extremely intelligent, and the smarter people are, the more likely they are to be afraid of scary things. This is also reflected in the soul beast. At least the current purple fire golden eyes beasts are already very familiar with Chenzin. I didn't dare to resist at all. Ever since he recognized Tianlin for absorbing the 1,000-year soul ring, Chenzin had been working hard to think of various ways to increase safety. Tianlin was very touched. Although the master was very strict with him, it was always for his own good. Master, don't worry, I will definitely absorb this soul ring successfully. Tianlin solemnly promised. Summoning the magic sword, Tianlin slowly walked towards the purple fire golden-eyed beast. At this moment, it, which had lost its will, suddenly raised its eyes and released a beam of purple fire towards Tianlin. Tianlin quickly raised his magic sword to defend, but was still hit by the purple fire, and his soul power was quickly sealed by the poisonous fire. The Gai Qiang was just pretending to be dead, just for this last resistance. The power of the seal is so powerful, my soul power actually dropped 8 levels in one breath. Tianlin felt his soul power, and now he only had about 12 levels of power left. This means that his soul power essence is of high purity. If it were replaced by someone else, he would probably be reduced to below level 10, and even the soul ring skills would not be able to be used. Zyroshin, you are careless. Remember, before your opponent is completely defeated, never think that you have won, just because of a slight advantage. At the critical moment, it is very fatal. Chenzin taught him a lesson. Tianlin nodded and admitted that he was too careless just now. Otherwise the purple fire and golden eyes beast would never have a chance to fight back. I won't give you a second chance. The first soul skill is Ninghaksu. Tianlin took action with all his strength. The so-called water and fire are incompatible. This strong cold air is exactly the result of a flame-type soul beast like the purple fire golden eyes beast. One of the nemesis in an instant, the purple fire golden eyed beast was frozen by the ice. Then, as the ice was shattered by Tianlin's sword energy, the 1000-year-old soul beast died on the spot. Seeing that their own military advisor had been beheaded, the gathered spirit beasts lost their backbone and immediately dispersed. Calm returned here. Tianlin took this opportunity to walk to the body of the purple fire golden eyed beast and used his soul power to pull a purple soul ring over. Come on, my second soul ring. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 35 Koma Tianlin Shushan Baolu Chapter. The purple halo came to the top of Tianlin's head. Without giving him a chance to react, the 1000-year soul ring shrank and wrapped around his body as if it was going to crush him. The dominance of a 1000-year soul ring was indeed far beyond that of a century-old soul ring. Tianlin felt as if he was in a sea of fire. Both his body and soul were being burned by the flames in an instant. His insides were on fire, and his body felt so uncomfortable that it was about to explode. The holy breath barrier took the initiative to protect Tianlin and quickly repaired Tianlin's body. Zyroshin, the fire attribute soul ring is inherently more domineering than the ordinary attribute. No matter how the power of the soul ring impacts your body, you must stay awake. Remember, once you fall, you will never get up. Ever since Chenzin was promoted to title Douluo, there was nothing that could move him. But he still couldn't help but worry about Tianlin, who was entering a critical moment at this moment. At this time, Tianlin slowly began to get used to the burning of the flames, because his first soul ring attribute was water. The magic sword, like the Holy Spirit Pearl, automatically released cold air to protect the master, greatly weakening the flame's temperature. Tianlin has even entered the realm of inner vision. His spiritual sea is extremely stable and cannot be destroyed, no matter how fierce the flames from the outside are. Seeing his disciple's expression gradually calming down, Chenzin finally felt relieved. The most dangerous moment had passed. This brat had really transcended his level and absorbed the 1000-year soul ring. Roar. But at this moment, Tianlin seemed to hear a roar, and when he turned around, he saw the golden eyes of the purple fire golden eyed beast actually appearing in his spiritual world. Then a ray of light was emitted and shot into his eyes. Ah! Tianlin couldn't help but scream. His body fell backwards and he fainted. Zyroshin, what's wrong with you? Chenzin was shocked. He had clearly succeeded just now, so he didn't understand why Tianlin suddenly fainted. Perhaps Ning Fengzi would know that Chenzin didn't hesitate. He activated the 7 killing sword, used the third soul skill sword wings to fly, picked up Tianlin, and rushed back to the 7 treasures, glazed sect as quickly as possible. Time came quickly to 3 days later. Tianlin was lying on the big bed in his room. Beside him, Ning Fengzi and the 2 sect protector Douluo had anxious expressions on their faces. Ning Rangrang cried so hard, "Brother Jian, please wake up and take a look at Rangrang. Rangrang will never make you angry again. Rangrang, be good. Your brother Jian will be fine. He is just tired from practicing and needs to sleep for a few more days." Bone Douluo felt sorry for his granddaughter and picked up Ning Rangrang and comforted her. "Fengzi, you checked Zyroshin a few days ago and said that his body and soul are very healthy, but why is he still not awake? It has been 3 days." Chenzin was anxious. Ning Fengzi shook his head. "I don't quite understand. According to what you said, Uncle Jian, Tianlin had clearly successfully absorbed the soul ring at that time, but suddenly fell into coma at this time. I have never seen such a situation. In fact, the reason why Tianlin did not wake up was because his soul was under an inexplicable attack. However, this attack not only did no harm to him, but actually expanded his spiritual sea a lot. In the past few days, his consciousness has been staying in the sea of spirit, sorting out the sudden surge in mental power. It's finally done. In the sea of spirit, Tianlin let out a sigh of relief. He didn't know why the eyes of the purple fire and gold-eyed beast suddenly appeared in his sea of spirit, but the benefits he got were undoubtedly huge. Now that his mental power has been sorted out, the spiritual sea is more stable than before. He feels that, if he uses the holy breath barrier now, the effect will definitely be stronger than before. Of course, this is not the most important thing. His biggest gain this time is not the second soul ring or the strengthening of mental power, but the page turning of the Shushan treasure record in his mind. The second part of Shushan Baolu, Yuheng Bei Keojing, was written by Keogu, one of the 7 sages of Shushan. It records various medicinal herbs, including the strange velvet-toothed chrysanthemum, narcissus jade muscle and bone, etc. that appear in the original book. They are all available here. Records not only indicate the effects of medicinal herbs, but also how to preserve them for consumption. In addition, the alchemy chapter of the Beikeojing records that if these immortal herbs are used as medicinal ingredients and combined with other herbs to refine elixirs, some of them can be more effective than the immortal herbs themselves. Shushan is indeed a sect of cultivating immortals, and its records and use of immortal grass are probably 10 times more than Tang San's Zuanshan Baolu. In this way, he no longer had to curry favor with Tang San, and could even sweep away the medicinal herbs before Tang San and Ugubo met. Of course, Tianlin's view of Tang San has not changed. He is not an enemy, and can be friends with him, but there is no need to have a deep friendship with him. After all, they are planning to cut off whose fairy grass. It doesn't make sense for them to call each other brothers in this way. Another day and night passed. Tianlin was completely immersed in studying the Yuheng Bei Keojing, forgetting the time, and did not know that there were 4 people outside, guarding him day and night. Brother Jian, why aren't you awake yet? Ning Rangrang took a towel and wiped Tianlin's face. If this scene was seen by other people in the 7 Treasures Glazed sect, they would be shocked. How could their little witch from the 7 Treasures Glazed sect be so well behaved and still take care of others outside the door? Ning Fengxi sighed. Thanks to Xiaoshan, Rangrong has really become much more sensible than before. Alas, I hope Xiaoshan wakes up as soon as possible. As a father who is obsessed with his daughter, he really can't bear to see his daughter crying every day. And he also firmly believed that the future hope of their 7 Treasure Glazed Tile sect and the future sect protector Douluo would never perish because of a small 1000-year soul ring. Brother Jian, let me tell you, Rangrang's soul power has reached level 15. Although it is not as powerful as you, my father has always praised me as the fastest auxiliary soul master in cultivation. When you wake up, I just become the exclusive auxiliary soul master behind you, okay? Ning Rangrang kept talking, hoping that his words could reach Tianlin's heart. Perhaps Huangshan paid off, and Tianlin in the spiritual sea really heard someone calling him. This voice is Rangrang. Damn it, I only focused on studying the Shushan Baolu alchemy chapter, forgetting that there are relatives who care about me outside. Tianlin was immediately annoyed. When you want to learn how to make medicine, you should at least let someone outside ensure your safety first. You are so selfish. After thinking about it, Tianlin immediately returned to consciousness. In reality, he slowly opened his eyes and found that Ning Rangrang was gently wiping himself. He smiled and said, Rangrang, I'm back. I'm sorry. You're worried. Seeing Tianlin wake up, Ning Rangrang was overjoyed and even had tears in her eyes. However, she did not forget about the business. She ran out of the door and shouted, Grandpa Jian, Grandpa Bones, Dad, come quickly. Yeah, Brother Jian is awake. Chapter 36 Externally Attached Soulbone. Xiaoshan, how are you? Are you still feeling unwell? In the room, Ning Fengxi checked Tianlin's body again. Whether it was physical or mental, he found that he was extremely strong. In theory, there was absolutely no problem, but Chenzin was still worried and asked several more times, "Master, don't worry, I'm really fine. In fact, I haven't been in a coma these past few days, but my consciousness has been staying in my own spiritual sea." Tianlin told him to relax, and his current condition was indeed very good point. After informing them of the substantial expansion of his spiritual sea, they finally understood that Tianlin had been sorting out his sudden surge in mental power in the past few days. The Sea of Spirit. Xiaoshan can actually observe his own Sea of Spirit. This is something that many spiritual soul masters can do. This is not something that sword type martial spirits can do. It seems that his second martial arts, the soul, should also have something to do with spiritual power. Ning Fengzi speculated in his mind point, but there was another point that made him wonder why absorbing a soul ring would expand Tianlin's spiritual sea point. The purple fire golden-eyed beast uses its eyes to attack, so it can barely be regarded as a spiritual soul beast, but the soul ring absorbed by Tianlin is only just over 1,000 years old, so its mental power should not be so strong. Xiaoshan, can you tell me exactly how you absorbed the soul ring? Ning Fengzi was really curious. What must have happened to Tianlin point? The people here were all trustworthy, and Tianlin didn't intend to hide anything from them, so he recounted what happened to him in the Sea of Spirits. Except for the Shushan treasure record, he didn't hide anything else. Point unexpectedly, Ning Fengzi was overjoyed after hearing this. I see. No wonder your mental power has expanded so much. Xiaoshan, you have taken advantage of it this time. Fengzi, stop being so pretentious and tell me, what happened to Xiaoshan? Chenzin hates the behavior of these smart people who always half speak, arouse people's curiosity, and then stop talking. Haha, Uncle Jian, don't worry. If my guess is correct, in Tianlin's spiritual sea, the thing that attacked Tianlin should be a soul bone, and it is the flame golden eye produced by the purple fire golden eye beast. Ning Fengzi smiled. Point soul bone. This term shocked several people present. Soul bones are a rare treasure in the world of soul masters. The appearance of any soul bone requires the soul masters to fight for it. Point even the wealthy Qibao glazed sect doesn't have much stock of this thing. Wait, that's not right. At this time, Douluo was a little confused. Isn't the soul bone composed of 6 parts? Head, torso and limbs? What are these eyes? Is it possible? He had obviously already guessed that what Tianlin got was something more precious than ordinary soul bones. Uncle, bones, is it possible that what you said is difficult? What Xiaoshan absorbed is an attached soul bone. Ning Fengzi said with great excitement. Point the preciousness of externally attached soul bones is far beyond that of ordinary soul bones. If the occurrence probability of ordinary soul bones is 1 in 1,000, then the externally attached soul bones are not even 1 in 10,000ths in the soul master world. There is a ranking list of the most precious things for soul masters, called the Soul Master Dream List, among which the externally attached soul bone has always ranked second on the list of soul masters' dreams, second only to the 100,000 year soul ring that ranks first, and is almost impossible to exist. The most special thing about the attached soul bone is that it evolves as its owner's soul power increases. Therefore, the sooner the external soul bone is absorbed, the better. In the original work, Tangsun absorbed the attached soul bone at level 30, but Tianlin absorbed it earlier this time, which can be said to be a unique blessing. It turns out it's an external soul bone. No wonder it's so powerful. At this moment, Tianlin finally knew what his opportunity was. He directly mobilized the soul power in his body to focus on his eyes. Soon, the black eyes turned red, and there seemed to be flames burning in the pupils in the room. The temperature began to rise sharply. Ning Fengzi and others knew that Tianlin had activated his external soul bone. They were also curious about what was so wonderful about his pair of flaming golden eyes. Tianlin walked to the window and looked into the distance. The things in his eyes seemed to be still. Even if there was a mosquito in the distance, he could clearly see its wings flapping several times per second. Point and the distance is also very far, several kilometers. Tianlin looked back at Ning Fengzi and the 2 Douluo. Uncle Ning, Master, Elder, after opening my external soul bone, I found that all my attributes have increased, especially mental power and insight. It has been strengthened to a very terrifying level. Ning Fengzi nodded. As I thought, the main enhancement of the external soul bones such as eyes must be spirit and insight. As for the soul skills, are there any active soul skills attached to them? Yes, there is now a move called Golden Flame Burning Soul, which is a mental attack soul skill. It can make the opponent's spirit seem to be in the fire and deliver a fatal blow. However, this move also consumes a lot of money for me. It almost costs me to use it once. Consume half of my mental energy. Tianlin had indeed obtained a very powerful soul skill, but he could not use it easily. Ning Fengzi and others said it did not matter. It's okay. It's a big consumption now. That's because the life of your external soul bone is still very low. I'll follow you in the future. As its strength grows, it will become stronger and stronger. Not only will its consumption be reduced, but the power of its soul skills will also become more terrifying. Mental attacks are extremely rare. Chen Zin agreed. Ocean's demon suppressing sword does even better than my 7 killing sword and the Ocean hammer of the Ocean sect in terms of physical attacks. Now that it has added such a terrifying soul attack, it seems that in the future the title of #1 attack Douluo in the mainland will be changed soon. Chen Zin would be very happy if his apprentice replaced him. Wow, another soul bone. Brother Jian is so powerful. Now Brother Jian has 2 soul bones. Rangrang still doesn't have one. Ning Rangrang's cute voice was filled with envy. This little girl still thought that Tianlin had a gem-like soul bone in his body. She had no idea that Tianlin had deceived her in the first place. To hide the fact that she had twin martial souls, it is conceivable that if Ning Rangrang learns the truth one day, he will be so angry that he will bite Tianlin hard with his little tiger teeth. Ning Fengzi smiled. Ning Rangrang and Tianlin's relationship was getting better and better, which was exactly what he wanted to see. Ocean, you are the most outstanding soul master I have ever seen. I believe your future is far more than just a title Douluo. Perhaps, even the so-called 99th level of human limit may not be able to block your path. At that time, the important responsibility of protecting Rangrang and the Qibao Glazed sect will be left to you. Don't worry, Uncle Ning, no matter where I go, I will never forget that I'm a member of the Qibao Glazed sect. Tianlin promised. He could say this without any scruples, because he had never thought of betraying him. Chapter 37 The God of Ice and Fire. Tianlin's powerful second soul skill. On the second day, at the Qibao Glazed sect's martial arts arena, Tianlin and Sword Douluo Chengxin stood facing each other. Of course, they weren't trying to fight souls. Even though Tianlin basically had no opponents at the same level, he was still weak against a 96th level Super Douluo like Chenzin. Today's purpose is for Chenzin to test the power of his apprentice's second soul skill. 1000-year soul skills will definitely not let you down. Originally, this work should have been carried out yesterday, but Ning Rangrang has been holding Tianlin tightly. For her brother Jian finally woke up. How could he fight? Or what if something happened again? They had no choice but to let Tianlin rest for one more day due to the crying of the little princess Qibao Liuli. Master, are you ready? I'm coming. Tianlin reminded. You brat, to block the attack of a great soul master like you. Do you think I still need to prepare? Just come. Chenzin said calmly. Okay, then master, please take over. After Tianlin finished speaking, a purple halo shone under his feet. At the same time, his first soul ring actually reflected each other with a second soul ring. Fusion of purple fire golden eyes beast. After the soul ring, the attribute of fire has been added to my sword, and this move is the second soul skill produced by fusing the attributes of water and fire, ice, and fire. Conferring God, Tianlin used all his soul power to slash out 2 sword auras, 1 blue and 1 red point. Wherever the sword energy passed, the ground was either covered in ice crystals or pitch black, and the sword energy was not only sharp, but also extremely fast. Chenzin was shocked. He knew that he still underestimated this apprentice. He actually felt a hint of threat from the 2 sword energies, and hurriedly stretched out his palms, and used his soul power to defend. A soul power shield blocked the 2 sword energy, but not long after, cracks slowly appeared on the shield. What? I have used almost level 20 soul power, but I can't stop Ocean's attack. Chenzin was extremely horrified. He is a titled Douluo, and the quality of his soul power is far beyond that of ordinary great soul masters. As a high level soul master, the level 20 soul power he releases is enough to rival a level 40 soul sect. If level 20 doesn't work, I'll increase it to level 25 or level 30. Chenzin continued to increase his soul power output, and it wasn't until level 30 that he could completely block Tianlin's ice and fire conferred god. Haha, old man Jian, you must be embarrassed now. To deal with a great soul master, you actually used soul power at the level of a soul master. Douluo laughed loudly at his old friend, who was one of the few who could attack him. His chance point, but Chenzin seemed to have turned a deaf ear and just looked at his palms silently. Okay, you have also seen Brother Jian's soul skills. From now on, he belongs to Rangrang. Ning Rangrang hugged Tianlin's arm and said, Brother Jian, let's go play with Rangrang. Otherwise you will have to go back to the academy soon. Ning Rangrang cherished every moment spent with Tianlin, and so did Tianlin. He smiled and touched her head and said, okay, let's go. I will stay with you until we return to the academy. After saying that, he cupped his hands towards Ning Fengxi and others and said, Uncle Ning, Master, Elder Gu, I'm resigning. After Tianlin and Ning Rangrang left, Ning Fengxi was still observing the ice crystals and flames on the ground, as well as a large crack opened by the sword energy. The attack power is terrifying, comparable to that of the soul sect, and it also possesses the power of ice and fire. I have never seen such a powerful weapon. Soul. Ning Fengxi sighed. Yes, fortunately he is from our 7 treasures glazed sect. Douluo was also happy, and of course there was also a layer of envy. How could such a good successor belong to his old rival Chenzin, and then think about his own incompetence? Guran. If I talk about it too much, I will shed tears. Gurong, who became more and more unhappy as he thought about it, said angrily to Chenzin, hey, old man Jian, how long do you want to look at your palms? Old bones, let me ask you, when you use level 30 soul power, can an ordinary soul king hurt you? Chenzin suddenly asked, making Gurong confused. Of course it's impossible. I'm a 95 level titled Douluo. I'm at level 30. Can that be the same as an ordinary soul lord? Soul king, even his 5th soul skill may not be able to hurt me. Gurong said of course, he didn't lie, it was the truth. But, look. Chenzin suddenly spread out his palm, only to see 2 wounds on it, and they were constantly being eroded by the power of ice and fire. It wasn't until Chenzin used his sword energy that he could expel these 2 attributes. You're injured, how is that possible? Gurong said in disbelief. He clearly saw Chenzin blocking Tianlin's attack. Not only was I injured, but my soul power was also sealed by half a level. I think Tianlin's sword energy should have also inherited the soul sealing ability of the purple fire golden-eyed beast, the ice fire god sealing god. Haha, what a good ice fire sealing god. Although Chenzin's hand was injured, he was overjoyed in his heart. Tianlin's 2nd soul skill was even better than he thought. Even his soul power could be sealed. If he were replaced by a soul master of the same level, he would probably be defeated in an instant. Sealing 7 or 8 levels or even more. Fengxi, we all thought wrong before. The attack power of Tianlin's martial spirit is not the most outstanding. What is really strongest is its dominance. Not only the sword, but I think the same is true for the beads. Chenzin sighed. Domineering? That's right, that's right. Ning Fengxi was reminded by Chenzin, and as a theoretical master, Ning Fengxi suddenly came to his senses. The strongest thing about Xiaoshan's martial spirit is that it is domineering, even to the point of ignoring the rules. When the soul master absorbs the soul ring, no auxiliary soul skills can interfere with it, but Tianlin's beads are completely ignored. This rule. Also, this sword ignores the difference in level and delivers real damage. In other words, as long as it hits, even if you are a god, I can hurt you. Real damage. There is such a martial spirit. It is really a monster. After listening to Ning Fengxi's explanation, Gurong couldn't help but swallowed and seemed a little frightened. If Tianlin reaches level 60 or 70, then by then, with his attack power greatly increased, wouldn't it be possible for him to directly kill the titled Douluo by relying on real damage? Moreover, many of those titled Douluo are extremely arrogant. If they look down on Tianlin and think that a soul emperor and soul saint can't hurt them at all, and foolishly rely on their own soul power to block them, just like Chen Xin today, then I'm afraid at that time, they didn't even know how they died. Haha, Wuhan Palace. Hey Ocean Sect, in as little as 30 years, or as long as 40 years, you will no longer be able to override our 7 treasures Glazed Sect. Ning Fengzi looked at the plaque in his main hall, and said with high spirits. Feeling the power of Tianlin's martial spirit, he was extremely confident in the sect's future. Chapter 38 Return to Xiandao. 3 days later, Tianlin said goodbye to Rangrong, Chen Xin and others, and returned to Xiandao Royal Academy again. She should have left 2 days ago, but Ning Rangrong kept crying, and wouldn't let go, so Tianlin had to stay with her for 2 more days. After returning to Xiandao City, Tianlin did not go directly to the Royal Academy, but went to the palace, to inform Zuking that he had returned. Although this guy's disguised as a man, his heart is still that of a girl. The stinginess of a woman is clearly reflected in her. If he doesn't go to her, as soon as he comes back, he will definitely be blamed by her for a long time. Because of the prince's order, Tianlin did not need to report when he entered the East Palace. It was noon, and it was supposed to be lunchtime, but Zuking was still dealing with government affairs. He had no choice but to maintain his image as a diligent prince at all times. Because of his performance, many ministers who were originally unclear about their position were attracted to him. After all, he and Zhu Beng were the only princes left. If he wasn't chosen, how could it be possible to choose His Highness Zhu Beng, who was famous for his playfulness and arrogance? Your Highness, Master Tianlin is here. A maid whispered in Zuking's ear. Due to Tianlin's many visits, everyone in the East Palace already knows him. They all know that Tianlin is barely the prince's fellow disciple and his best friend. Ocean, you're back. Zuking put down the government affairs in his hands, stood up and said happily, yes, Brother Zhu, I have successfully obtained the 2nd soul ring. I just returned today and came here to pay a visit to Brother. Tianlin behaved politely, which made Zuking a little dissatisfied. Ocean, I've said it many times, you don't need to be so restrained. When you come to my place, just be casual. Zuking ordered to the maids at this time, you all go down. I want to catch up with my junior brother. She thought Tianlin had to pretend like this, because there were many outsiders around. In fact, Tianlin really didn't want to get too close to Zuking, because after being in contact with him for several days, he was indeed a very charming person. If she restored Kan Rinxu's image, she would probably turn all living beings upside down. It's a pity that they are destined to be enemies. If they are too close, Tianlin is worried that one day he will not be able to attack her, and then he will be the one who dies. The current situation is just right. Although there is contact, they keep a certain distance. She uses the power of Xiangsu to speed up her cultivation, and she also uses the Emperor Hua's meditation method to help her purify her soul power. Neither of them owes the other, even if they are poor in the future. Dian Jian, if she kills him, it is not ungrateful, and if he kills her, it is not unjust. By the way, Ocean, can you let Brother Zhu see your 2nd soul ring? Zuking walked to Tianlin and asked. What she cared about most was Tianlin's cultivation. The stronger Tianlin was, the stronger he became. The power of Xiangsu will become stronger once Tianlin reaches the same level as her. Their cultivation speed will increase several times. Maybe it won't be long before she can return to Wuhan Palace and take back the position of Pope from that woman. Okay. Tianlin nodded. He wouldn't say that the 2nd martial soul and external soul bones could be hidden, but if it was just the 2nd soul ring, he wouldn't be able to hide it, even if he wanted to. During the battle, it's impossible not to use it. So, as the magic sword was summoned, 2 soul rings, one yellow and one purple, began to rise slowly. Purple 1000-year soul ring. Zuking was shocked. The 2nd soul ring was to hunt down the 1000-year soul beast. Even she did not dare to do this. Yes, Brother Zhu, my 2nd soul ring is taken from a 1000-year-old beast with purple fire and golden eyes. What? A nonsense. How could His Majesty Sword Douluo allow you to do such a dangerous thing? I felt scared for a while. Is she caring about me? Tianlin was slightly stunned. He felt that Zuking was really angry just now, and this anger was caused by concern. Could it be that he was not just a person in her heart? Practicing a cheating device. Brother. Zu. I'm fine. Don't worry. Ever since I awakened my martial soul, my body has become stronger day by day. Even if I absorb the 1000-year soul ring, I don't feel any pain when I absorb it. Unconsciously, Tianlin comforted Zuking. One of them is 7 or 8 years old, and the other is 17 or 18 years old, about 10 years apart. At this time, it seems that a younger brother is comforting his older brother. Zuking smiled and said, "Forget it, it'll be fine. Xiaoshan, promise brother, you will never do such dangerous things again in the future. You were lucky this time. The purple color of your soul ring is very light. It should be just over 1000 years old. Moreover, the purple fire golden eyes beast itself is also a soul beast with weak attack power. Many factors allowed you to survive the danger safely. You may not have such good luck next time, you know. Don't worry, I promise I won't do it again." In order to reassure him, Tianlin solemnly promised. Of course, he would definitely not abide by it. In order to become stronger, absorbing soul rings beyond levels is the fastest way for him. After hearing Tianlin's assurance, Zuking completely let go of his anger. After leaving Tianlin to finish lunch in the East Palace, the two of them used Xiangsu's power to practice together for 2 more hours before Tianlin said goodbye and left. During the training, Zuking noticed that Tianlin's soul power had reached the peak level of level 22 and was about to break into level 23. It was worthy of a 1000-year soul ring, and the bonus to him was really great. With Xiaoshan's cultivation speed, it will only be a matter of time before he catches up with me. I'm looking forward to seeing how powerful the soul fusion skills of our 2 god level souls will be by then. Looking at Tianlin's leaving figure, Zuking smiled expectantly. It was almost dusk when Tianlin returned to Xiandao Royal Academy. He went straight to the training ground. A group of nobles from Xiandao Royal Academy might have gone to enjoy the nightlife early because they couldn't stand the boring training point, but his group of friends won't. They have an incomparable desire to become stronger. They will never go back unless they practice until the sun goes down every day. Sure enough, when he arrived at the training ground, teacher Qinming was taking them to do actual combat exercises. The Shi brothers formed a couple team with Yu Xianheng and Du Guyan. The first soul skill, Thunder Dragon Claw. Yu Xianheng gathered thunder and lightning on his palm and struck Qibao, the elder brother of the Shi family brothers, with one palm. The first soul skill, Zuanwu Shield. Qibao was unmoved at all. The Zuanwu turtle was indeed a top defense spirit. Even a powerful beast spirit like the blue electric Tyrannosaurus could not shake Qibao at all. Not only did Yu Xianheng not break Qibao's defense, but shocked by the force of the counter shock, he retreated continuously. On the other side, Du Guyan spit out green scale snake venom, but it was also completely blocked by Graphite's tortoise shell. His tortoise shell is slightly different from his brother Shimmer's. Shimmer's is focused on improving defense, while his is slightly weaker in defense, but can resist various abnormal conditions unexpectedly. After a round of confrontation, the Shi brothers, who had weaker soul power, had the upper hand. Chapter 39. Battle with Yu Xianheng to learn the method of detoxification. Xianheng, your attack power will never lose to Qibao's defense power, but your lightning attacks are too scattered. You have to learn to concentrate your power to achieve. Arankar, Yanzi, although your poison is very powerful, it is not very offensive. Once you encounter a defensive soul master like Graphite that can resist poison, you have to consider other tactics. You should have used your snake tail as soon as possible. Pull Xianheng over and rely on his attack power to break through Qibao's defense, or take the initiative to change direction and attack Qibao who has no poison resistance. Don't just stay in a daze on the field just because one attack failed. Remember, you are the control. The soul master is the brain of a team. If the brain doesn't work, it's up to you to make the limbs work correctly. Ming was giving instructions on the side. Different from his usual gentleness, he was particularly serious at this time. Perhaps this was the tradition of Shrek Academy. Seniors and sisters, you have worked very hard. Tianlin walked forward with a smile. When everyone saw Tianlin coming back, they immediately stopped fighting. Oslo was the fastest and appeared next to Tianlin. Hey, our little Tianlin is back. Let's see how my new hairstyle is doing. Oslo didn't know when he got a haircut similar to that of an airplane head, and he showed off to Tianlin with a proud look on his face. Senior Oslo, I think you look better with a bald head. If you don't mind, I can help you. I promise, my sword is very sharp, and I can definitely shave it off for you. Tianlin said with ill intentions. Well, forget it then. What if you shake your hand and chop off my head? Oslo took a few steps back in fear. It's okay. If I accidentally cut it, I will definitely apologize to you, but when we eat, I will sit at the same table as Senior Yi and Sister Yanzi. Tianlin said the chilling words naturally. Oslo hid directly behind the Shi brothers. Only under the protection of these two big men could he feel a sense of security. Oh, they are really two living treasures. Qinming sighed helplessly. Forget it. Tianlin is only less than 8 years old, and Oslo is already 12 years old, and he still fools around like a child all day long. Although he is strong, it is of no use if he does not have a brain. Qinming is very worried that one day when Oslo, an agility type soul master, is engaged in a team battle, he will not cut off the opponent's backline support, but instead fight with the opponent's power attack type soul master. Get tough. Did you get the second soul ring? Yu Xianheng walked up to Tianlin and asked. Yes, Xianheng, do you still remember our agreement? Let's have a fight sometime. Tianlin couldn't wait to see the power of the blue electric Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now that he also has a second soul ring, even if the level is slightly lower, he doesn't think he will lose. I have consumed a lot of soul power today, so how about tomorrow at noon? The venue is the Royal Academy Soul Fighting Field. You represent the 7 Treasures Glazed sect, and I represent the blue electric Tyrannosaurus Rex family, and we will have an honest showdown. You Xianheng quickly decided on the time and place, and Tianlin had no objection to it. Qinming didn't say much. He knew that the two children had a sense of propriety, and this was not a life and death duel. Even among friends, it was common for them to compete for souls. Some friendships just get better the more they fight. After talking about business, Tianlin turned to look at Dugu Yan beside Yu Xianheng. By the way, Sister Yanzi, I feel that your eyes are a little greener than before I left. Well, maybe it's because my level has increased by 1 level in the past few days. This is a sign that my poison has become stronger. Dugu Yan disagreed with this, because in her family, her grandfather, and the same thing happened to my late father. Tianlin knew that this was not a good phenomenon. As Dugu Yan's poison became stronger and stronger, the harm to her body would become greater and greater. The original book once said that her father died of the backlash of his own poison of maybe Dugu Bo was afraid that Dugu Yan would be sad and scared, so he didn't tell her about it. So Dugu Yan didn't know the seriousness of the matter yet. It seems that he must seize the time to learn the medical knowledge in the Yuheng Bei Kyojing, so he will focus on the detoxification chapter first. This is not only for the fairy medicinal herbs, but also for efforts to remove the poison from Dugu Yan's body, so that her strength can be better utilized. After returning to his room, Tianlin entered his own spiritual sea, where his attention would become easier to concentrate, and he would learn things more efficiently. In the Yuheng Bei Kyojing, many methods for removing highly toxic poisons are recorded, as well as Kyogu's notes as one of the 7 saints of Shu Mountain. Kyogu specializes in medical treatment, and has saved countless people in his life, including many masters who practiced poison techniques, and were poisoned by their own poisons. For most of them, Kyogu's method is to remove the poison from their bodies, because most people who practice poison skills have evil intentions. This can not only save their lives, but also prevent them from continuing to use poison to harm others. Of course, it is impossible for Tianlin to learn this kind of thing. For a soul master, losing all his skills is simply worse than death. Dugu Yan will definitely refuse. However, there are exceptions to everything. Kyogu knows very well that there is no good or evil in Kung Fu, and it is up to people to use it. Therefore, when she met someone who practiced poison Kung Fu, but had a pure mind. She also thought of other things. Method point one of the methods was very similar to Tang San's method of treating Qibao, which was to find a medium, to transfer all the toxins in the body, so that the poison would not corrode oneself. Point in the world of fairy swords, the medium is various magic weapons. After the magic weapon chooses its owner, only the owner can use it, and it is no different from a part of one's own body. In the world of Douluo, there is no such thing as magic weapons, and the substitute is the soul bone. Tianlin looked around, and found that there was indeed no more reliable method than this, but transferring toxins was not that simple. It also required a special guidance method and the combination of drugs. These are included in Tang San's Zuanshan Baolu, and naturally they are also included in Tianlin's Yuheng Bei Ko Jing. In half a year, Tianlin expected that he would be able to thoroughly understand this small piece of content in at least half a year, and then he could detoxify Qibao and Yan. This would not only save their lives, but he could also collect the fairy grass with peace of mind. Although, in fact, he could ask Sword Douluo and Bone Douluo to rob Qibao head on. Qibao was no match for any of them in a one-on-one fight, so it was not difficult to rob him, but Tianlin couldn't handle this kind of clever robbery. Can't do it. Although the fairy grass is a place for virtuous people, can a person who steals people's treasures be worthy of the word virtuous person? Besides, Yan is now considered his friend, and it is better to have a certain bottom line in life. At worst, he will also leave a share of the fairy grass for Yan and Qibao. Chapter 40 Tianlin vs Yu Xianheng. 1. It's open. It's open. The successor of Sword Douluo of the Seven Treasures Glazed Sect versus the successor of the Blow Lightning Tyrant Dragon family. Please come and place your bets. Today's Xiandao Royal Academy is particularly lively because the news of Tianlin's invitation to fight Yu Xianheng has spread throughout the entire academy. As the future leaders of the second and third largest sects in the world, the two of them immediately caused a conversation. Oslo and Yu Feng even stood up and set up a stall. Hey, Oslo, what are the odds for each of them? A noble asked. Although the people in Xiandao Royal Academy are not short of money, they are still very interested in gambling. My family wants to can what you have come compare with what you have won on your own. Well, both of them are second level great soul masters, and their martial souls are of similar quality. They are both top level martial souls. Therefore, the odds can only be determined by their levels. Tianlin is at level 22. Yu Xianheng is level 26, with a big gap of 4 levels. So after my very professional judgment, Tianlin pays 2 for 1, while Xianheng pays 1 for 1. Everyone nodded. They also knew that Oslo was usually very close to the two of them, and he should have an accurate judgment on their strength. This odds was considered fair. Well, I'll give you Xianheng 1,000 gold soul coins. No, someone immediately placed bets. It seemed like a good start. A lot of people immediately followed suit. There were obviously more people pressing Yu Xianheng than pressing Tianlin. After all, there was a level gap of 4 levels. Moreover, Yu Xianheng is also older and must have more combat experience than Tianlin. These two guys actually bet on the soul fighting between Tianheng and I. Not far away, Tianlin and a few others looked at the actions of Oslo and Yu Feng in silence. Oslo didn't care what was Yu Feng doing and followed him around. Tianlin smiled slightly and said to Yi Lingling beside him, Senior Lingling, are you interested in tricking them? I'm very interested. What are you going to do? Yi Lingling has never been a harsh person, and she can definitely do something like cheating on her teammates. Tianlin pulled out a golden card and said, this is the golden soul coin card that Uncle Ning gave me before I left the sect. There seems to be almost 100,000 golden soul coins in it. You can use it all to crush me to victory. After it is done, we will split the 200,000 gold soul coins we won in half. The Qibao Glazed sect is really the richest sect in the world. It only gives you so much living expenses, but you are so confident. Xianheng is not easy to deal with. Be careful that you will lose all your money. Yi Lingling took it from Xianlin's hand. Gold card, but she knew how powerful Yu Xianheng was, so she still asked one more question. Don't worry, my boss is invincible at the same level. Duran appeared behind the two of them. He looked more confident than Tianlin himself. Sister Lingling, I also have a card here, which was given to me by my master. There are almost 30,000 gold soul coins, and they also help me push my boss, and similarly, the winnings will be divided in half. Okay. Yi Lingling took the card from the two of them and walked to Oslo. The total of 130,000 gold soul coins will beat Ocean. I'll go. Lingling, where did you get so much money? Oslo was shocked. He didn't expect Yi Lingling, who usually kept quiet, to be a rich woman. Don't worry, just help me suppress it. Yi Lingling put down the two cards and left. She can only do this betting thing. If Tianlin and Guren go, they will definitely guess that Tianlin has some winning method, so how can they deceive them? The time soon came to noon, and this battle indeed attracted the attention of many people. Not only the colleges that had placed bets, but also those who had not placed bets, and even the college teachers and 3 education committee members came to watch the game. Firstly, they wanted to see the strength of the two of them, and secondly, they were afraid that they could save people in time when they couldn't stop fighting. They must know that they are the hope of the future of the two major sects. If one of them is lost here, that old dragon, or that pair of sword bones, must go crazy and tear down the academy. Ocean, I have been waiting for this day for a long time. Today, I'm going to prove that my blue electric Tyrannosaurus Rex family is by no means inferior to your 7 treasure glazed sect. Drink. Yu Xianheng shouted angrily, and a huge thunder dragonet appears on its body surface, full of domineering power. It's that the best beast spirit in the world, the blue electric Tyrannosaurus Rex. Then let me see which of our spirits is more domineering. The special effects of Tianlin's spirit were not as amazing as Yu Xianheng's. Just a long sword appeared naturally in Tianlin's hand, but the 2 soul rings, one yellow and one purple, that followed it were so shocking that people couldn't open their mouths from ear to ear. This, the second ring of the millennium, am I right? Ocean rubbed his eyes vigorously. Could it be that he has gained weight recently, and the fat has pressed down on his retinas, so he can't see clearly? No, I saw the same thing. Okay, our Xiandao Royal Academy really has a genius. Meng Shenji was extremely excited. He has taught thousands of students, but he has never seen a second soul. The ring lasts for thousands of years, and Tianlin's talent has actually broken the rules. Go. I seem to have been tricked by Lingling. She must know something to make such a big bet. It's over. Oslo's whole body collapsed. He originally thought that, even if Tianlin was very strong, it wouldn't be enough to the point of even crossing the 4th level point, but now, the gap between the 1000-year soul ring and the century-old soul ring is enough to make up for the mere difference of level 4, and the outcome of this game suddenly becomes unpredictable. The second ring of the millennium, no wonder His Majesty Sword Douluo said that. Yu Xianheng became completely serious. He no longer regarded Tianlin as a junior student who was several years younger than him, but as the same student as him. Level Master, the first soul skill, Thunder Dragon Claw. Yu Xianheng used his first soul skill at the beginning, which was enough to show how much he valued Tianlin. Tianlin smiled slightly. Very good, that's how it should be. The first soul skill, Ning Hangsu. He was not one step behind, and used his first soul skill. Both sides were status soul skills. The Thunder Dragon Claw covered the palm of his hand with the power of thunder and lightning, which greatly increased the attack power. At the same time, the attack also contained extremely strong puncture effect. This is the characteristic of thunder and lightning. It is violent and has strong penetrating power. The first way to cast Tianlin's Ning Hangsu is to concentrate the power of ice on the blade, which not only strengthens the attack power, but also gives the attack a strong freezing ability. Xianheng, I'm here. Take the move, Yushihan Jiang. Tianlin took the lead, leaping and stabbing straight with his sword. Well, come, look at my Thunder Dragon Piofeng. Yu Xianheng raised the dragon claw and faced it head on point in an instant. The sword claws intersected, and Yu Xianheng's dragon claw actually caught a spark on Tianlin's sword edge, which reduced the power of the ice a lot. In this round of confrontation, Yu Xianheng had the upper hand, and he launched 6 claws at Tianlin at an extremely fast speed, each attack being fast, accurate, and ruthless. Fortunately, Tianlin had practiced Shushan School's movement skills and narrowly avoided the attack. However, Yu Xianheng still had 5 scratches on the clothes on his chest. Chapter 41 Tianlin vs Yu Xianheng 2. Tianlin looked at the cloth strip on his chest and sighed. What a powerful claw technique. Is this one of the self-created soul skills inherited from the blue electric Tyrannosaurus Rex family? Yes, these are the 7 claws of the coiling dragon. Yu Xianheng retracted the dragon claws and said, I can see that what you just used was just a set of basic swordsmanship. It is impossible to win my family's soul skills. You still don't need the 7 kills sword technique. Okay, then you take the move in the murderous intense spreads. Tianlin knew that he could never defeat Yu Xianheng with Shushan's basic swordsmanship alone, so he had to get serious. The thick murderous aura gathered towards Tianlin, which made people's hair stand on end. Yu Xianheng knew that when anyone faced with murderous aura, they would unconsciously feel a little fearful. Once this fear suppresses the will to fight, it will cause a rapid decline in one's combat effectiveness. Therefore, it is time to face the difficulties at this time. Thunder, Dragon Claw, Thunder Dragon Breaking Wind. The 7 kills sword technique has no way of retreating, and Tianlin will not hide at this time. Both of them used their unique skills with their first soul skills activated, and their power was comparable to that of Soul Master. The countless surges of swords and claws, ice and thunder are fascinating to watch. At this moment, Yu Xianheng suddenly changed his moves, turning his claws into fists, and the blue lightning kept making roaring sounds. He was gathering strength. It seemed that his first soul skill was the same as Xianlin's. Only status soul skills can also be released. I saw Yu Xianheng punch out, and a thunder and lightning dragon roared towards Xianlin. Xianlin raised his sword high and struck down. Ning Hangsu, go. In an instant, the powerful ice force cancelled out Yu Xianheng's lightning, and the two were still equally matched. This is just like watching the battle between young Sword Douluo and Thunder Douluo. Meng Shenji sighed. Although these two people are only great soul masters, their strength is not inferior to that of Soul Master Xiaoshan. You are indeed very powerful, so how are you going to deal with this move? The second soul skill, Thunderbolt. Yu Xianheng finally used the second soul skill at the bottom of the box. This move was also a single target attack skill, but its power was several times more powerful than the Thunder Dragon Claw. Several thunderbolts converged into one, and a powerful current swept towards Xianlin. I also have the second soul skill, Ice and Fire Conferred God. Xianlin instantly mobilized the power of ice and fire, swung out to sword energies, and fought with Yu Xianheng. Xianlin used at least 6 points of force in this attack, while Xianheng used all his strength to attack, and the strength of both parties was stalemated in the center of the field. Xiaoshan, you are indeed very strong. My blue electric Tyrannosaurus Rex has never met an opponent in attack. Although you used your 1000-year soul skills against my century-old soul skills, you are still proud of yourself. Yu Xianheng words of victory came from the thunder and lightning point. Now that the two sides have entered into a competition of soul power, without using all his strength, how can Xianlin make up for the gap of 4 levels? Even with 1000-year soul skills, it can be seen that Xianlin's power of ice and fire was gradually suppressed by Yu Xianheng's lightning. Xianheng has the upper hand. Many people who pressed Yu Xianheng for victory became excited. Haha, it looks like it's almost done, but the victory or defeat does not depend on this blow. Xianlin smiled slightly, and as he said that, he actually took back his power, and the thunderbolt suddenly lost its hindrance and struck hard towards Xianlin. This scared Yu Xianheng. He didn't expect that Xianlin would suddenly withdraw his power, and shouted anxiously, Xiaoshan, get out of the way, I can't control my soul skills anymore. Thunder. Wanjin's attack power is so tyrannical. Once it hits the front, Xianlin will not die, but will be disabled. Ning Hangsu. At this moment, Xianlin instantly used his first soul skill. What was surprising was that he could completely block Xianheng's thunderous force with just his first soul skill. Haha, Xianheng, you won't have a chance next. Xianlin took advantage of the victory to pursue, and slashed horizontally with his sword. Yu Xianheng stretched out his dragon claws to block him, but the huge force from the sword edge cut him in half in one fell swoop. A venue far away, strong wind and thunder. A Soul Master of the attack type is to exert the strongest attack power in the shortest time. Tianlin's basic swordsmanship has been cultivated to a state of trance, and the time difference is almost invisible when linking one move to another. The violent wind and thunder is the most powerful move in Shushan's entry-level swordsmanship. The sword is drawn out quickly and pierces the opponent's vital points. Of course, Tianlin would not kill Yu Xianheng, so he slightly deviated from the direction of the sword. The sword that originally pierced the heart instead pierced the shoulder. Thunder. Dragon body protection. Yu Xianheng quickly used the second move of Pan Long's 7 claws. This was a defensive move. The thunder and lightning formed like a glove and wrapped Yu Xianheng's hand and then grabbed Xianheng's hand. Lin's sword edge tried to block the attack. Xianheng, stop struggling. You can't stop my sword now. Tianlin increased his strength again, and the sword edge passed through Yu Xianheng's palm, instantly leaving a blood mark on his shoulder. Although his palms were protected by lightning, they were also frostbitten by the cold air of Ninghangsu. What's going on? The situation suddenly turned around. Why did Tianlin suddenly become stronger? Du Guan was anxious and confused. The originally good situation completely changed after Tianlin took back his second soul skill. No, it's not that Tianlin has become stronger, but Xianheng has become weaker. Can you see that? Meng Shenji asked Bebe Ocean and Celine beside him. Well, it seems that Xianlin's second soul skill is not only an attack move, but also has the effect of weakening the opponent. The two nodded in unison. As contrast, their vision was much stronger than those students. No, where is my soul power? Why can't I use it? Yu Xianheng on the field looked at his palms. He finally realized something was wrong. He could feel that his soul power was still sufficient, but part of it actually it cannot be used. It is about level 7, which means that his current soul power is only about level 19. Once his soul power drops, his attack power, defense power, and speed will naturally gradually decrease. Xianheng, it seems that you have finally realized that my second soul skill is not only for attacking, but also for sealing soul power. During the time when you fought me with Thunderbolt, you were sealed by me for at least 7 times. Level soul power. Xianlin straightened up his sword and said with a smile, admit defeat. Xianheng, you can't handle my second soul skill now. Xianlin's second soul ring lit up again, and he planned to use ice and fire to seal the god again. Yu Xianheng has a stubborn personality. How can he admit defeat so easily? He is also ready to light up his second soul ring and fight Tianlin again. But then he discovered that his second soul ring was no longer the bright yellow color before, but a circle of gray, and his soul skills could not be used at all. What? After I changed my soul power from a great soul master to a soul master, I even had my second soul ring sealed. Yu Xianheng was extremely shocked. Tianlin's second soul skill was probably a bit overbearing. Fuck, this ice and fire conferred god is so powerful? Tianlin himself was stunned. He only knew that it could seal soul power, but he didn't expect that it could also seal soul rings. Yu Xianheng sighed, withdrew his martial spirit and said, forget it, Ocean, I give up. Originally, he wanted to give it a try, but now that his soul power and soul rings were all sealed, what else could he use to fight Tianlin? It was better to admit defeat as soon as possible to avoid getting hurt. When Tianlin heard this, he also took back his martial spirit. This was just a competition. Just click to the end. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 42. Oslo was tricked, and the Imperial fighting team was established. There was an uproar when they heard Yu Xianheng admit defeat. They didn't expect that Tianlin actually defeated Yu Xianheng, who was at level 26 with his level 22 soul power, which really surprised them. He is less than 8 years old. Is he a genius or a monster? This battle made many people begin to recognize Tianlin, and the fear they had for him because of what happened to L's family gradually turned into admiration. Not only because of his strength, but also because in the battle, he was merciful at all times, and stopped at the slightest point. It was obvious that he was not the kind of person with serious murderous intentions, but a kind-hearted child. Coupled with that face that everyone loves, it's hard not to like her. Wow, I didn't realize it before. This junior is both good at fighting and cute, and he actually has a good temper. I'm so cute. Someone in the crowd suddenly became obsessed with him. Everyone had taken a detour when they saw him before, and of course they couldn't find out how good he was. It's really annoying. I should take him home and raise him while everyone is alienated from him. By then, this future title Douluo, it's not just for me. What's more, he actually wanted to take Tianlin back and make him his foster husband. Although Tianlin caused many of them to lose gold soul coins, these people had no resentment. They were all born into nobles, and they did not look down upon hundreds or thousands of gold soul coins, but one of them collapsed. Oslo rushed to the edge of the ring and roared sadly, "Xianheng, how can you admit defeat? My life and fortune depend on you." What the hell? You Xianheng was confused. I can't beat Xiaoshan. If I don't admit defeat, why should I continue to be beaten? You. Xianheng knew that Tianlin had been merciful to him, and his sword energy had deliberately grazed his body. Therefore, in addition to the scratches on Yu Xianheng's clothes, he only had a small wound on his body. With his physique, it was very difficult to heal quickly, and no blood is shed. He is a person who knows how to advance and retreat. Of course, he will not mess around. Moreover, he can afford to lose in this fair and just spirit fight. At worst, the training time will be doubled in the future. Just work hard to win it back. Why don't you try it, Xianheng? Maybe after Xiaoshan uses his soul skills so many times, there won't be much soul power left in his body, and you might still have some chance of winning. Oslo was like a drowning man, trying to catch him. The last straw. You kidding? Tianlin just lost a lot of soul power, but my soul ring has been sealed. Now that my strength has retreated to the soul master level, I will definitely lose. Yu Xianheng decisively put his life-saving straw. It was cut. At this moment, a jade hand appeared behind Oslo, stretched out a finger, and tapped his shoulder. Oslo looked back, and saw the beautiful but expressionless Yilingling. Oslo, I won. Tianlin's odds are 2-for-1. In addition to returning the 130,000 gold soul coins I bet, you have to give me another 260,000, for a total of 10,000 gold soul coins. Since you are your future teammate, I will give you 400,000 minus the fraction. She said the most chilling words in the plainest words. You removing fractions? It's obviously rounding up. Okay, Yufeng, please tell me. Don't forget, you also have a share in being the banker. Oslo tried to pull Yufeng to shoulder the firepower unexpectedly. Yufeng immediately summoned his own martial soul wind chime. "Bird, I'm just here to help you support the stall, not the dealer. Don't look for me." After saying that, Yufeng flew out of sight. He was really a good teammate. Oslo, give me the money quickly, otherwise even if you get injured next training, I won't need Jiuxin Haitang to help you treat it. Yilingling continued to urge. According to the previous agreement with Tianlin and Guran, the gold soul coins she won were divided into 50 and 50. After returning the 130,000 gold soul coins as chips to them, she could get at least 130,000 gold soul coins for the rest. The training of the soul master consumes more resources than the attack system, and the money will be enough for her to use for a long time. Sister, can you make an IOU and I can pay it in installments? Oslo said pitifully. Although his family is a noble, it is not as wealthy as the Qibao glazed sect. 400,000 gold soul coins are enough for his family for several years' expenses. Yilingling nodded. Yes, okay. She didn't intend to make things difficult for Oslo. After all, he was a teammate. Could it be that she really didn't want to treat him? So that's it. No wonder you never let me admit defeat. Yu Xianheng finally understood that this guy Oslo actually used money to bet on the match between him and Tianlin, and because Yilingling spent a lot of money on the bet, he seems to have suffered a terrible loss this time. Teacher Kinming has long said that if you gamble for a long time, you will lose. If you don't listen to him, you should be happy. Yu Xianheng smiled happily, took Du Guyan's hand, and left. Although he was not injured this time, his soul and mental power were consumed too much, and he needed to take a good rest. With his girlfriend by his side, he would definitely get twice the result with half the effort. Senior. Sister Lingling, please take your portion of the money that Senior Oslo will repay later. As an auxiliary soul master, your training resources are consumed faster than ours. If you have more, you can give it to me and Guran. Okay. At this time, Tianlin stepped forward and made another stab. It turns out that Ling Ling's money was provided by you and Guran, and you actually joined forces to deceive me. Oslo suddenly felt as if he had been betrayed by the whole world. I didn't intend to trick you. I'm just confident in my own strength. Tianlin said innocently, and coupled with his childish face, it was completely deceptive point. But now in Oslo's view, he is simply extremely sinister. I'm just confident in my boss's strength. Seeing Tianlin preparing to leave, Guran followed him in a hurry. He was really honest. He only knew that he could eat meat by following his boss. That's right. Li Lingling quickly brought out a piece of paper. Oslo, I have already written the IOU. Please fingerprint it. Oslo stretched out a hand in despair and let Li Lingling play with it casually. Only his injured world finally appeared. After today's battle, Tianlin's reputation has completely become louder. Yu Xianheng performed well in the battle, so even though he lost, no one laughed at him. Kinming saw the benefits of showing strength through soul fighting. He intended to make all 9 of them famous, so that they would be valued by the academy and obtain more training resources. Therefore, in the next few days, he arranged for the remaining 7 to compete with each other. Fighting spirit. On the first day, the Shi brothers' double defense combination was against Oslo and Yu Feng's agile attack combination. The next day, the goddess team of Du Guyan and Li Lingling faced off against the Qibao Liuli team of Tianlin and Guran. On the third day, the Shi brothers and Li Lingling joined forces to form the strongest defense and recovery team to face the double attack team of Tianlin and Yu Xianheng. Even with such high attack power, it took most of the day to deal with them before they could barely break through the defenses and win. Unknowingly, the reputation of the 9-member small group has spread throughout the Xiandao Royal Academy. The 3 educational committee members realized that Kinming seemed to be intending to cultivate the strongest group, probably to prepare for the future elite competition of soul masters across the continent. And the 9 people he selected are indeed outstanding enough. Within 3 years, they will all be the best among the Xiandao level. So after some discussion, Meng Shenji waved his hand and issued an order, and the cultivation resources were directed towards the 9 people. Amplitude tilt point and the name of the 9-member team has finally been officially confirmed. Just like in the original work, it is the Royal Dao team. Tianlin swore that since he joined, the Imperial fighting team would never lose to Shrek Academy or Wuhandian Academy this time. Chapter 43 Royal Dao Team vs. First Team of Xiandao Royal Academy. Time flies, and a year has passed without realizing it. Under the unremitting hard work of the Royal Dao Team every day, everyone's strength has made great progress. Tianlin is now over 8 years old. Because he has been studying the relationship between Yu Hengbei Kaolu this year, his progress in soul power and swordsmanship is not as amazing as imagined. Now his soul power is level 26, which is 4 levels higher and 7 levels higher. The second and third forms of the killing sword technique were also understood, and they were all practiced to the point of mastery. Shenzhen is already very satisfied with this speed. If he knew that Tianlin still spent most of his energy on other things, he would be completely shocked. In fact, Tianlin had almost learned how to detoxify half a year ago, but in the next 6 months, he had to learn how to make elixirs. Some of the immortal grasses were best when taken directly, but some, according to Kyogu's notes, were refined into elixirs. But it can be more effective, and sometimes more than one elixir can be made from one fairy grass. This is a real maximization of benefits. To be able to learn so quickly, Tianlin also needs to thank the Purple Fire Golden Eyes Beast's soul ring and attached soul bone. The Purple Fire Golden Eyes Beast is indeed an intelligent soul beast. After fusing its soul ring and soul bone, Tianlin found that either memory and comprehension have been improved. The soul ring and soul bones of soul beasts usually improve physical fitness such as strength and defense, and can improve wisdom. Tianlin has experienced this for the first time in 1,000 years. Perhaps this is one of the abilities attached to the external soul bones. Apart from him, the other 8 people in Huangdao have also made great progress. They are all Cheyenne Sea level students, and Yu Xianheng is even about to enter Cheyenne Dao level point today. Our situation is, Yu Xianheng, 13 years old, has the Beast Martial Spirit Blue Electric Tyrannosaurus, attack type, level 29. Du Guyan, 13 years old, Beast Martial Spirit Green Scaled Snake, control system, level 28. Qibao, 13 years old, Beast Martial Soul Zuanwu Turtle, defense system, level 28. Qibao, 13 years old, Beast Martial Spirit Zuanwu Turtle, defense system, level 28. Oslo, 13 years old, Beast Martial Spirit Ghost Leopard, agility and attack system, level 27. Yufeng, 13 years old, Beast Martial Soul Wind Chime Bird, agility and attack system, level 27. Yilingling, 12 years old, Weapon Martial Spirit Jiuxin Haitang, healing system, level 26. Guran, 12 years old, Beast Spirit and Skeleton Warhorse, attack type, level 25. Jun Tianlin, 8 years old, uses Wuhan Demon Suppressing Sword. Strong attack type, level 26. Except for Tianlin, the talents of the other members of the Royal Fighter team are slightly worse than those of the original Shrek 7 Devils. There is no way, who should let them be the protagonists? Guran was almost left behind. After all, he was just a sidekick who never appeared in the original work. He really had no human rights at all. But fortunately, Guran was lucky. Since he worshipped Tianlin as his boss, Tianlin would naturally protect him. After Ningrangrong, he was the second person to enjoy the increase of Holy Breath barrier, so he could barely keep up with everyone. The Imperial Fighter team is now so strong that even some soul level teams may not necessarily win against them. They even sometimes serve as sparring partners for the Xiandao Royal Academy team, because in a year's time there will be the Continental Soul Master Elite competition. Of course, it wasn't the one Tangson and the others participated in. The Soul Master competition was held every 5 years, and the last one was 4 years ago. In that session a year later, neither Tangson nor Xianlin's group would be able to participate because they were too young. The stage that truly belongs to them will be the one 6 years later. It's a pity that Xianlin is really not optimistic about this year's Xiandao Royal Academy team. Their team is not very strong. There are 3 low-level Soul Masters and 4 high-level Soul Masters. With such strength, how can they compete with each other? Wuhan Palace contends even in normal sparring. If the 3 soul sects were accidentally hit by Xianlin's Ice and Fire God and the 4th soul ring was sealed, they would be in a hard fight. These people are worthy of being playboys. Hi, but the combat ability is pitifully weak. Perhaps those people who finally broke through level 40 were built with family resources. Just a bunch of people like this. When Xianlin breaks through level 30, he will torture them to death. Fighting Soul Platform. On this day, the Xiandao Royal Academy team was training with the Huangdao team again. The Huangdao team was supposed to be just a sparring partner, but no matter how you looked at it, it was the opponent who was the sparring partner except for Guran and Yufeng. The 7 people on Huangdao's stage were all high-spirited and confident. Even if they faced opponents whose average level was more than 10 levels higher than them, they did not show any fear. On the other hand, everyone on the Xiandao team, who was about to participate in the competition, was panting and had a negative attitude of not wanting to train. Xianheng, these seniors are really incompetent. Let's encourage them. Xianlin said. Okay, Xiaoshan, come on, use our combo skills. Yu Xianheng smiled confidently. He and Xianlin have cooperated many times. Although they don't have martial soul fusion skills, they have also created several soul skill combinations. Skill point: Xianlin's sword can absorb various attributes and become stronger. Although there is no soul ring that can absorb the lightning attribute yet, it can temporarily accommodate Yu Xianheng's thunder and strengthen itself when it comes. The second soul skill, Thunder. Xianlin raised the long sword high and activated the fire attribute energy in the second soul ring. At the same time, Yu Xianheng used the second soul skill to direct thunder and lightning into the sword. Thunder and fire, the 2 most violent and offensive attributes, are perfectly integrated, combined. Magic sword skills. Sword energy ignites thunder. The Flame sword energy was attached with the power of thunder and lightning, and the explosive power instantly exploded in half of the Xiandao team point, combining the strongest beast spirit with a magic sword, whose attack power is not inferior to the 7 killing sword Ocean Hammer. The power of this combination is not inferior to some spirit fusion techniques several members of Xiandao's team prepared to scatter and escape. But they ignored that there was also a control type Soul Master on Huang Dao's side. Jade Scaled Snake Venom. Dubu Yan spit out the green scaled snake venom, and the terrifying poisonous mist enveloped all his opponents, blocking all their escape routes. In the end, the entire Xiandao team was reduced to disgrace by the power of the three of them. If Tianlin hadn't been merciful and withdrew a lot of power at the last moment, they would have been severely injured. Seniors, you can't do this. I can't even use the ice and fire conferred god in the 7 kills sword technique. Tianlin said with a smile, while holding the magic sword. Wait a minute. Junior fellow students, the seniors are really in trouble. We are old, and we don't have as much physical strength as you. Let's take a rest, and let's talk about the remaining training in 2 days. The captain of the team shamelessly begged for mercy. Alas, seeing him like this, Meng Shenji, as the chief, felt really tired. A group of 20-year-olds couldn't beat a group of 12 or 13-year-olds, and they even used their old age as an excuse to beg for mercy. Where are their faces? The first team was like this, not to mention the second team. Zilin didn't want to look at it anymore, and only left one sentence. This conference, our Xiandao Royal Academy is finished, waiting to be beaten by the people from the Xingluo Royal Academy. Laugh at me. Then he turned and left. Chapter 44. Dugu Yan is in coma and Dugu Bo arrives. Well, although Zilin's words are negative, they are not wrong. Bebe Ocean shook his head, looking very unwilling. But Meng Shenji's thoughts were different from his. It doesn't matter. Even if we fail in this Soul Master competition, it doesn't mean that our Xiandao Royal Academy has truly declined. When we really want to show our fangs, it will be in the 6th century. Years later, hearing this, Bebe Ocean's eyes lit up, and he looked at the group of high-spirited young people opposite the Xiandao Royal Academy team. Yes, a temporary victory or defeat is nothing. The 9 members of the Imperial team are their real hope. Everyone played well today, especially Xianheng and Tianlin. The two of you have a tacit understanding of cooperation. It's a pity that you can't fuse your martial souls, otherwise your strength will inevitably double. Kinming walked up. Explore the possibility of fusion skills between the magic sword and the blue electric Tyrannosaurus Rex spirit point, because the magic sword can accommodate various attributes, and the thunder of the blue electric Tyrannosaurus is unmatched among all martial arts. Logically speaking, the compatibility of these two martial spirits should be good. It's a pity that he has only been able to create a few combination skills after studying for so long. The martial soul fusion skills are really not that simple. In fact, Tianlin knew that they could not achieve the fusion, because Yu Xianheng's blue electric Tyrannosaurus Rex was not of a higher level. It was only a top level martial spirit, while Tianlin's magic sword was a hidden god level martial spirit point. Unless Yu Xianheng undergoes a qualitative change, it will be difficult for them to complete the martial soul fusion technique. After finishing today's training, everyone walked off the soul fighting stage. At this moment, Dugu Yan suddenly felt dizzy. Strange. Could it be that the martial spirit has been used too much? Yanzi, what's wrong with you? Yu Xianheng quickly hugged his lover and asked worriedly. Xianheng, don't worry, I'm just a little dizzy. Dugu Yan didn't want Xianheng to worry, so she forced herself to stand up. Unexpectedly, she seemed to have lost her strength and fell to the ground. As soon as she got out of Yu Xianheng's arms, he soon fainted. Sister, Yanzi, the members of Huang Dao's team and Kinming all screamed anxiously, and Meng Shenji immediately came up to investigate. Dugu Yan is not only a member of the Imperial fighting team, but also the only control type soul master in it. She is also the only granddaughter of poisoned Douluo, so she must not let anything happen to her. Old Bei, Kinming and I will send Dugu Yan to the infirmary. You should immediately find the best healing soul master in our college. Meng Shenji ordered. Although Yi Lingling's 9-heart begonia is the strongest healer, she is a martial soul, but her level is too low after all, and she cannot fully exert the power of the martial soul. Got it? Bebe Ocean showed a speed that was completely inconsistent with his size and disappeared without a trace in an instant. An hour later, in the infirmary, Douluo Yan finally slowly woke up under the treatment of a 70+ level healing soul saint. The soul saint's martial soul is a healing staff, which is of the same type as the Jiangsu of Lanba Academy. Okay, it's okay. I think it's just that the spirit has been used too much. After all, the opponents are all above level 30. You group of great spirit masters, don't fight so hard in the future, you know? The soul saint took back his power. The back of the staff advised. Luckily it's okay this time, Yanzi. You must do your best in the future. Kinming finally breathed a sigh of relief. Looking at everyone who was relieved, Tianlin still frowned. He knew that things might not be that simple. To say that the martial spirit is overused. Can Douluo Yan use it more than he and Yu Xianheng? Almost all the output of the audience was on the two of them, but I didn't see them like this from Xianlin's point of view. It should be that after Douluo Yan suffered too much loss, the toxins in her body lost their soul power and caused backlash. Fortunately, she was also a poison soul master and was able to wake up so quickly. However, as Douluo Yan's soul power gradually increases, her poison will become stronger and stronger. Sooner or later, her poison will exceed the upper limit of her body's endurance, and then the poison will backfire, and she will die. It seems that the matter of detoxifying Douluo Yan has to be put on the agenda. The sooner the better. Only by completely controlling the toxins in the body can Douluo Yan fully exert his strength. Jaina. At this moment, an anxious roar came from outside the door, and the door was kicked open. What came in was an old man wearing green clothes with a slender figure. Surprisingly, not only his clothes were green, but his hair was also green. His beard is all green, and his body exudes a fishy smell. Grandpa. As Douluo Yan called him, everyone finally knew the identity of the old man. He turned out to be one of the contemporary title Douluo, the Jade Scale Douluo, who is known as the most poisonous Douluo in the world. Of course, more people like to call him Poison Douluo directly, because his character is the same as his martial soul, poisonous and ruthless. As for him coming here, it was normal. Douluo Yan suddenly fell into coma, so the academy naturally had to find a way to notify him. This time, Contrazilin went to find him in person. Your Majesty, don't worry. Student Douluo Yan is fine. Just take a rest. Kinming said respectfully. Yes, Grandpa, you are making too much of a fuss. I just overused my soul power. There is no need for you to go there in person. Douluo Yan threw herself into Douluo Bo's arms and said coquettishly. In fact, she was quite happy that her grandfather was so nervous about her. Well, it's okay, but it scared Grandpa to death. Douluo Bo stroked Douluo Yan's hair lovingly and said, today, the Imperial Fighter Team and Kinming have opened their eyes. Apart from them, who else can see this person? Poison Douluo, who kills without leaving any bones behind, has such a gentle side. Of course, Douluo Bo was not as innocent as others. His first reaction, when he heard the news, was that the backlash of Douluo Yan's poison had already begun. Although his expression was gentle, Tianlin could see deep worry in his eyes, because his son, Douluo Yan's father, died of the poison step by step. But he didn't dare to tell Douluo Yan that his granddaughter was still so young. How cruel it would be to know that his death was approaching. Everyone in the world says that Douluo Bo is ruthless, but who knows how important family ties are in his heart. If possible, he would rather not have the strength of a titled Douluo and only want his Jaina to grow up happily. In order not to disturb Douluo Yan's rest, everyone soon left the infirmary one after another. Douluo Bo said to several people, you guys are from the Imperial Fighter Team, right? Jaina will mention you every time he comes home. As expected, you are very important. But, Your Majesty, you have given me the award. In front of the titled Douluo, they did not dare to be arrogant, and they all became humble and good children. Douluo Bo's eyes mainly glanced at three people. One was Tianlin, the other was Yi Lingling, and the last one was Yu Xianheng. Tianlin is the youngest, but the strongest among them. He has never seen such a talent in the continent for decades, and even Tang Heo seemed to be inferior to him back then. Yilingling possesses the 9-hearted begonia martial spirit, the #1 healing martial spirit in the mainland. If she is here, she may be able to alleviate the poisonous attack on Dugu Yang. If Dugu Bo admired Tianlin and Lingling, then Yu Xianheng in the end was a brat who abducted his precious granddaughter with murderous intent, and wished he could just reward him with a shot of green-scaled snake venom. Chapter 45 Tianlin and Dugu Bo, the power of the Holy Spirit bead. Hello, Senior Debu, Yu Xianheng greets you. Although Yu Xianheng was a little nervous when he saw his sweetheart's grandfather, he still acted neither humble nor overbearing. After all, he was the heir to the 3rd clan in the mainland and could not disgrace the family. Boy, you are known as the #1 genius in your family today. Even the outstanding boy Yu Xiangxin is slightly inferior to you, but I think you are nothing more than that. You can't even compare to a child under 9 years old. Dugu Bo glanced at Yu Xianheng and mocked coldly. Yu Xianheng was a little embarrassed for a moment, because what Dugu Bo said was true. He really couldn't beat Tianlin. He couldn't beat him at the beginning, and now that Tianlin's level has risen, he can't beat him even more. Tianheng's skills are not as good as others, which makes my majesty laugh. Compared with Xiao Shan, I really don't deserve the word genius. In the future, I can only rely on hard work to make up for the gap. Yu Xianheng finally chose to admit it openly. His words seemed a bit negative, but it made Dugu Bo's eyes light up. If Yu Xianheng had just shown dissatisfaction or anger, he would have looked down even more. A person who dared not even admit failure was not worthy of being his grandson-in-law. But I didn't expect that he could deal with it so calmly. He has a tough and restrained nature, hiding all his dissatisfaction in his heart, with excellent talent and excellent family background. Dugu Bo admitted that the Yu Xianheng in front of him was indeed worthy of his Jaina, and even he could not find anything to find fault with. However, admit it. If you want him to like Yu Xianheng, it will take another 100 years. Dugu Bo snorted coldly and was about to leave. At this moment, Tianlin suddenly called out, "Senior Debu, wait a moment, I have something I want to talk to you about alone." "Oh, you little brat, what can you tell me? Could it be that Sword Douluo has something he wants you to convey to me?" Dugu Bo knew that Tianlin was Chenzin's disciple, and this was the only thing he could think of. Tianlin thought for a while and said, "Yes, Master has something very important to tell me. When you come to the academy to visit Sister Yanzi, if I'm lucky enough to meet you, I will tell you. However, this matter is extremely confidential, so it needs to be conveyed separately." There was nothing he could do. If he said something was wrong with him, it would be strange for Dugu Bo to believe him. After all, Tianlin was only 9 years old. "Okay, boy, then come with me." Dugu Bo grabbed Tianlin and disappeared in a flash. The speed was so fast that Kinming, the Soul King, couldn't even react in time. The gap in strength between the Soul King and the title Douluo is indeed like a chasm. Soon, Dugu Bo took Tianlin to a small lake outside the college. "Don't worry, kid. There is no one else around here. If you have anything to say, just say it." "Yes, senior, I would like to ask you, every time it rains, is the numbness and itching in your ribs okay? Is it still getting stronger?" Tianlin asked straightforwardly. "What did you say?" Dugu Bo's eyes suddenly became sharp. However, Tianlin seemed not to notice and continued to talk to himself. "Senior, your symptoms occur once every day at noon and midnight. Based on your current situation, it should last for more than an hour each time. Also, yes, every late at night, around midnight, you will feel a pinprick-like sting on the top of your head and in your heart. Your whole body will convulse for at least half an hour. Am I right?" "You bastard, shut up." Dugu Bo could no longer hold back and strangled Tianlin's neck. This is his biggest secret. No one knows it, and he doesn't allow anyone to know it. Otherwise, if the enemy knows the time when his symptoms occur and takes the opportunity to attack him, no matter how many lives he has, it won't be enough. "Senior, you don't have to be angry. Since my master asked me to convey it to you so openly, he naturally has no intention of harming you." Tianlin showed no fear at all because he knew that Dugu Bo would never dare to kill him. After all, there was the Qibao glazed sect standing behind him, and Douluo was a very life-loving person. Moreover, in Douluo's heart, it would be useless, even if he killed Tianlin, because he thought that Chenzin discovered this matter and asked Tianlin to convey it to him. If Chenzin was really angered by killing Tianlin, Chenzin would not do it himself. Take action. Go outside and publicize the fact that he was poisoned, and he will not get any good results. Moreover, as Tianlin said, the Qibao glazed sect came to him as soon as possible after learning about this incident, and there should be no malicious intentions. Otherwise, they would kill him like a bag of fish when he was poisoned. Tell me, what does your Qibao glazed sect want from me to keep this secret? Douluo put down Tianlin and asked in a deep voice, Senior, I have my own request, but before that, please give me a chance to remove the poison from your body. Tianlin still wanted to save people first and then ask for something in return, so he picked up the fairy grass and calmed down. What are you talking about? You can remove the poison from my body. Boy, don't make such a joke with me. Even your master may not be able to do it. How could Douluo easily believe the words of an 8-year-old child? It is true that my master can't do it, but I can. Senior, if you promise that you will keep it a secret from me for a while, I'm willing to confirm it to you immediately. Tianlin knew that if he wanted Douluo to believe him, he had to get it come up with something. This aroused Douluo's interest. He smiled lightly and said, okay, I can guarantee that, as long as you can prove it, what happened tonight will be a secret that only the two of us know. Tianlin nodded. He didn't need Douluo to swear or anything. Although this guy had a bad reputation outside, he was well known in mainland China for his credibility. Holy Spirit Bead, Holy Breath Barrier. Tianlin finally used his second martial spirit in front of the fourth person, ZHU. But isn't this child's martial spirit a sword? Could it be twin martial spirits? Douluo's face was horrified. The boy in front of him was scary, just because of his high level. He was also a twin martial spirit, Qibao. What kind of treasure did Liuli sect pick up? At this moment, as the barrier enveloped him, he suddenly found that the poison in his body seemed to be relieved, and his whole body felt indescribably relaxed. Senior, please sit down cross-legged and follow my instructions to guide your soul power. Tianlin continued. He muttered something in his mouth and said a formula, which was the method created by Keogu and recorded in the Yuhengbei Keojing to suppress the poison in the body. Douluo was so keen on poisons that he immediately felt the inscrutability of this formula. Without hesitation, he immediately sat cross-legged and activated his soul power under the double suppression of the holy breath barrier and the mantra. Douluo's originally pale face became increasingly pale. For him, this was an experience he had never had before. Chapter 46, The End of Ice and Fire Eyes. Half an hour later, Douluo let out a long breath. He stood up and looked at his hands in disbelief. Suppressed, really suppressed. Douluo was so excited that he couldn't help himself. The heartache that he had suffered every night for decades was actually suppressed today. He could feel that his poison would probably not attack in the next month or two. Senior, how about it? This is my own method of suppressing poison. Please give me your advice. Tianlin said with a smile. What are you talking about? Did you create this yourself? It was not passed down to you by Chenzin. Douluo said in disbelief that such an exquisite formula was actually written by an 8-year-old child. Yes, I picked up a book when I was young, which recorded many detoxification methods. I created this set of formulas based on the exercises in it. Even my master didn't know it. Tianlin found he the same excuse as Tangsun in the original work point. Although this excuse was full of flaws, he knew that Douluo would not go into details. As a soul master, there was no secret that no one could know. Wait, your master doesn't know. What about my symptoms? Douluo quickly discovered the blind spot. Chenzin didn't know this formula at all, so how could he let Tianlin come to him? Tianlin said helplessly, Senior, please forgive me. In fact, my master doesn't know your symptoms at all. Now I'm the only one who knows about it in the whole continent. But if I don't say so, you won't believe me before I come here. Secondly, I'm afraid you've killed me before I finished speaking. What a kid. You are so scheming. I can't tell that you are only over 8 years old. You are just like a little monster. Douluo could actually understand him completely, because before, he had really had murderous intentions. But now the murderous intention has completely disappeared, not only because of Tianlin's identity as a disciple of Chengxin, but also because he believes that Tianlin may really have a way to remove his poison point, even if there is nothing that can be done for a while. Just the holy breath barrier and the set of mantras can greatly relieve his pain. For Douluo, Tianlin is the biggest treasure. Whoever dares to touch him will be defeated by Douluo in a matter of minutes. Fight him desperately. Okay, little monster, as long as you can remove the poison from my body and my granddaughter's body, I promise you to do 3 things for you. 3 things that do not violate my bottom line and principles. Douluo is the same as the original work. He gave Tianlin 3 conditions. But why did this title become Little Monster? Isn't this his exclusive title for Tangsan? Thank you, senior. However, senior, detoxifying you cannot be completed in a day or 2. I estimate that it will take at least half a year. Please find another safe place. If you continue to stay at Qibao Royal Academy, then shouldn't everyone know that you, a majestic poison Douluo, was poisoned? Tianlin suggested secretly, and he just pulled Douluo's clothes and said, "Take me to the Ice and Fire Eyes." "I'm going to the Ice and Fire Eyes." Douluo nodded. "Yeah, that makes sense. People can't know about the poison in my body, not only for the sake of face, but also for safety. Then go to where I live. There are a lot of medicinal herbs there, which will be convenient for you. Secondly, it's also close to Qibao Royal Academy, so you can come back anytime you want. What do you think?" Douluo's treatment of Tianlin was much better than that of Tangsan. Not only did he not restrict his freedom, he also didn't feed him any poison pills. Tianlin wanted this exactly, so how could he have any objections? Afterwards, the 2 of them went back to Qibao Royal Academy. Tianlin asked Meng Shenji for half a year's leave, and wrote a letter to Guran to take back. Qibao Glazed Sect. Finally, he went to the palace, and found Zuking. He also wanted to give him an excuse to leave, otherwise what if he sent his 2 titled Douluo to kill Douluo? Tianlin told him that he was going to study poison with Douluo for half a year. As the saying goes, it is easy to dodge open guns and hard to defend against hidden arrows. No matter how strong you are in the future, once you are poisoned, you will inevitably be plotted by others. After you learn how to use poison to detoxify, you will be safer walking on the mainland in the future. For this reason, Zuking reluctantly agreed, and it was only half a year, so he could accept it. In addition, Tianlin promised that he would come back every month to practice Xiangsu's power with him, so he allowed Tianlin to leave Go Point in the early morning of the next day. Tianlin prepared to leave with Douluo under the farewell of everyone. "Xiaoshan, don't forget to practice hard outside, and come back early. You are the strongest weapon of the Imperial fighter team," Qin Ming warned. "Yeah, before that, I'm afraid I can only support the offensive position in the team." Yu Xianheng looked stressed. "Isn't there still me?" Guran pointed at himself. "Your attack power is not enough to serve as Xiaoshan's substitute." He was soon mercilessly ridiculed by the rest of the Royal Dao team. Guran suddenly became speechless. Although this is true, there is no need to say it so happily. There is no love in this world. Don't worry, I will be back soon. Don't forget the speed of my progress. Don't wait until I come back. My level will have surpassed yours. Tianlin said with a smile. "Go ahead and dream. We are all your seniors and sisters. If we are surpassed by you in rank, what dignity will there be, right Guran?" Douluo asked Guran. Guran looked confused. "Sister, just say what you want. What do you mean by the only one among these people whose level is lower than Tianlin? This is a mockery. It must be. There is indeed no love in this world." Guran's bitter face aroused everyone's laughter, but it diluted the reluctance to leave. Soon, Tianlin's figure disappeared along the mountain road with Douluo. Half a day later, with Douluo's full efforts, they quickly arrived at the center of the Sunset Forest, which is Douluo's home. After Tianlin came to this world, he had been thinking about the 8-year-old treasure land, ice, and fire. The 2-dimensional eye of ice and fire. It is indeed the 2-dimensional eye of ice and fire. It's great. Tianlin opened his arms and felt the two breaths of extreme heat and extreme cold coming from the left and right sides. The attributes of his current magic sword happen to be water and fire, which are very consistent with the two eyes of ice and fire. He can feel that practicing here can be better than any mimic training place and is even as powerful as Xiangsu, ice, and fire eyes. Boy, what are you talking about? Although Douluo lives here, he doesn't know the name of this treasure land. A typical example of having a treasure trove without knowing it. Senior. Douluo, you have a good place here. The so-called ice and fire eyes are one of the 3 cornucopias of medicine. Ordinary plants cannot grow here at all, because ordinary plants cannot adapt to that special climate, but it will shorten the growth time of those rare plants by 10 times. Simply put, if a Ganoderma grows in any of the 3 cornucopias for 10 years, it will have the effect of a century-old Ganoderma. The 3 cornucopias have unique conditions, is the beauty of Zhongling in the world, the place where the spiritual energy of heaven and earth gathers. Tianlin explained. I see. No wonder the medicinal materials here are so powerful. Douluo nodded. He didn't dare to eat the medicinal materials here as they could easily kill people. Chapter 47 Refining the Golden Body with the Power of Ice and Fire. Senior, with the help of the power of this ice and fire eye, I'm absolutely sure to cure your poison. You said before that you can give me 3 conditions, so my first condition is whether you can allow me to use this place at will. Herbs, take them with me or take them. Tianlin said, yes, but the herbs here are too strong. You have to remember not to take them casually. If something happens to you here, I won't be able to explain it to that old guy Chenzin. Douluo warned him. I don't want to come here one day and see Tianlin's body, and that old madman Chenzin will have to kill him. Douluo is known as a strange person among the titled Douluo who has never won a single or been defeated in a group battle. When he meets Chenzin alone, he is really no match. Don't worry, I know as much about these herbs here as you do. By the way, senior, please do me a favor. Can you help me buy 3 alchemy furnaces and some ordinary medicinal materials? Tianlin planned to help Douluo detoxify and start refining alchemy at the same time, so as to maximize the effectiveness of alchemy. Save time. It's just a small matter, just wait here. Douluo turned around and was about to leave, but suddenly thought of something. By the way, I've covered the area with poison arrays. No outsiders or spirit beasts can get in. It's very safe, but remember not to run around. The soul beasts outside the poison array are all very strong, let alone 10,000 year level. Tianlin agreed. Senior, don't worry, little monster. Please don't call me senior. I have no interest in such honorifics. If you can detoxify me and my granddaughter, then you will be my friend. Douluo said, if you don't call me senior, then what should I call you? Is it the same as you calling me a little monster and calling you an old monster? Tianlin said half jokingly. Unexpectedly, Douluo actually nodded. This is a good idea. I'm an old monster and you are a little monster. We are a perfect match, one old and one small. Ha ha ha. Douluo laughed and disappeared under the moonlight. No wonder Tangson always calls him this in the original novel. It turns out that Douluo is so informal about the people he recognizes. Okay, before the old monster comes back, I have to make preparations for detoxification. Let me take a look. Tianlin searched around, and soon, he found a white herb near the ice spring. The top of the white herb looks like a large white flower, octagonal, with stamens shining like ice crystals in the center. No fragrance is revealed, and its location is the center point on the side of Hanji Yingpan. Without the slightest hesitation, Tianlin waved the magic sword, and at the same time, used his body to quickly retreat 10 meters away with the drunk immortal watching the moon step. Where the magic sword was swung, large octagonal white flowers fell down among the herbs. In an instant, a cold air filled the air, and the surrounding herbs were covered with a light layer of white frost. This herb is the aniseed ice grass that Tangson took in the original work. It is also an immortal herb, but it contains extremely poisonous substances. If it is taken directly, the cold poison will attack the heart and cause death. But once this herb is taken together with another herb, it can have amazing effects. Tianlin turned to the other side. In the center of the fire spring, there was a fiery red plant, which was the fiery apricot Jiaoshu. It was completely opposite to the star anise ice grass, and was a poisonous fairy with fire attributes. Tianlin did not use the magic sword this time, because according to the records of Yu Hengbei Kaolu, to pick this herb, you must use a jade weapon. Tianlin quickly took out a jade dagger from Ruai's treasure bag. Since he had long expected that the ice and fire eyes would come, all related preparations had naturally been completed. The dagger was thrown out and cut off the fierce apricot. At the same time, Tianlin used his soul power to suck in the two herbs at the same time, but Tianlin did not touch them with his hands because he couldn't bear the fire poison and ice poison now. The two herbs fell to the ground in front of Tianlin at the same time. At this time, their breath that originally exuded extremely cold and hot breath suddenly disappeared. This is because the two plants restrain each other, and now is the only chance to take them. Tianlin did not hesitate, picked up two herbs, and stuffed them into his mouth at the same time. These two celestial beings melt in your mouth, taste very sweet, and are overflowing with fragrance. Then, two rays of light, one red and one blue, flashed on Tianlin's body at the same time. Tianlin immediately tore off his clothes, sat cross-legged in the center of the ice and fire spring, started to use the meditation method with all his strength, and began to absorb the power of the medicine. The increase of these two kinds of immortal grass for Tianlin is much greater than that for Tang San, because the attributes are consistent, and the attributes of Tianlin's current magic sword happen to be water and fire. The medicinal power of the fairy grass was not only absorbed by Tianlin's body, but also continuously absorbed by the magic sword. The impact on Tianlin's body was not as great as that of Tang San. Not only did he not feel uncomfortable, but he felt unusually comfortable. At the last moment, Tianlin jumped into the ice and fire eyes, and used the spring water to refine the last part of the medicinal power. Not long after, Douluo came back, and he also had a Ruai Bao in his hand, which contained all the common medicinal materials and alchemy furnace that Tianlin wanted. But when Douluo came back, he couldn't see Tianlin. And he suddenly became anxious. Little monster, where are you? Damn it, this little monster won't run out, right? A child is a child, and he doesn't act properly. What should I do if something happens? No, I have to find him quickly. At this moment, the ice and fire eyes boiled, and a figure rose into the sky from the spring. Old monster, you don't have to look for me anymore. Where am I? You, why are you in the spring water? You are still alive and well. You must know that even I dare not touch this spring water easily. Douluo said in shock. It's nothing. I just ate two herbs from you and turned into a golden body that is invulnerable to water and fire. Not only that, my sword seems to have also grown a lot. Tianlin said with a satisfied smile. It's true that you're a little monster. I just told you before I left that you shouldn't take any of the herbs here. You still took two at a time. Fortunately, it's okay. Douluo was really frightened by him this time and spoke very hastily. Old monster, after seeing my harvest, you will know why I took those two herbs. Come out, demon suppressing sword. Tianlin summoned the martial spirit. At this time, the magic sword had not yet completely recovered from the effects of the medicine, and the sword was still emitting red and blue light, but Tianlin's surging soul power surprised Douluo. It's level 29. How is that possible? As mentioned before, Tianlin absorbed these two medicinal herbs better than Tang San, so he not only absorbed the power of water and fire to develop a golden body, but also used the remaining medicinal power to continuously upgrade to 3 levels. Tang San did not have this in the original work. Upgraded treatment, because for him, the effects of these two herbs are basically on body refining. Of course, his biggest gain is not these two. Chapter 48 Ultimate Fire and Ultimate Ice. Old monster, next, I'm going to show off my greatest achievement. You can taste it. As he said that, Tianlin's second soul ring shined, the second soul skill, conferring the god of ice and fire. Oh, does the second soul ring mean 1,000 years? You little monster really lives up to your name. Although Douluo was a little surprised, he was not moved. After all, what could a little big soul master do to him? But at the next moment, as Tianlin's long sword struck out, he felt a strong threat from the sword energy. Instinct drove him to immediately defend himself. The fifth soul skill, Snake Python Chiangang Shield. The Jade Scale Snake King curled up into a ball and turned into a shield. This was Douluo's only defensive soul skill. Using this move against Tianlin's attack showed that Douluo valued it. Point to sword energies of extreme cold and extreme heat hit the shield. With Tianlin's current second level strength, of course he couldn't break Douluo's 5th soul skill. However, Douluo found that on his shield, the corrosive power of the 2 attributes of ice and fire did not end with the dissipation of the sword energy. If he withdrew the Chiangang shield at this time, he would still be injured by the power of ice and fire. The attack power just now is comparable to that of the Soul Sect, but that's not the most important thing. What is this attribute power? It actually made me, a titled Douluo, feel in danger and had to use soul skills to defend. Douluo thought of a possibility and then asked in horror, "Little monster, has your power of ice and fire evolved into ultimate ice and ultimate fire only? With extreme attributes can such a powerful power be unleashed?" Tianlin admitted directly, "Yes, from now on, no fire or ice attribute soul master can be my enemy." This little monster is really terrifying. The combat power of a soul master with extreme attributes is much more powerful than other soul masters of the same level. It is extremely difficult for ordinary people to possess an extreme attribute, but he can combine the ultimate fire with the ultimate power. The 2 completely opposite and even contradictory attributes of ice can be used like an arm and a finger. When the day he is banned, he will be invincible in the world and even be able to break the pattern of the mainland. Douluo thought in his mind, "Old monster, don't be distracted. My attack is not over yet." Golden flame scorching the soul. Tianlin used his external soul bone, and even his soul fire attribute was upgraded to the ultimate fire. This Douluo was completely caught off guard. His Snake Python Chiangang shield can only protect against physical attacks, but it has no way to deal with soul attacks. Ugh. Douluo held his head and backed away. Just now, his soul seemed to be in a raging fire, suffering unbearably. Fortunately, he was a titled Douluo, and his soul power was much stronger than Tianlin, so he was just in pain. After a while, he recovered quickly. "Little monster, are your eyes like soul bones attached to the outside?" "Yes, old monster. Thanks to the 2 immortal grasses that strengthened my body, I finally fully integrated with this external soul bone, and the soul fire in my external soul bone also has the ultimate attribute. How about it? The soul attack just now was pretty good." Tianlin said with a smile. Douluo didn't want to say anything anymore. Tianlin gave him too many surprises. Twin martial souls, ultimate attributes, and external soul bones were all elusive things on the soul master's dream list, but now they appeared. In seeing the same person, Douluo could only sigh that Tianlin was too unique compared to others. That's true, but little monster, don't be complacent. The ultimate attribute is a double-edged sword. Although it is infinitely powerful, the cultivation speed will be slowed down. The cultivation speed of the ultimate martial soul is average before level 30. You can practice turtle speed between level 70, and you will only reach super speed after level 70, so your biggest difficulty is level 70. Breaking through that level, titled Douluo, will be as easy as picking something out of a bag for you. Douluo reminded. Tianlin is about to reach level 30, which means that he is about to enter the slow period of cultivation. This period is the biggest test for him. "Old monster, you don't have to worry about this. Although I will lose my cultivation speed that is far beyond ordinary people, because of this ultimate attribute, at least I will not be slower than others, because I have this, the Holy Spirit bead, and the Holy Breath barrier is activated." Tianlin opened his Holy Breath barrier again and said, "Old monster, try meditating under my barrier. It's so confusing." Although Douluo didn't know what he meant, he still sat down as he was told. This meditation suddenly shocked him. His meditation speed was actually much faster than before. "Little monster, the innate barrier of this second martial spirit actually has the ability to increase the speed of cultivation. That's right. Relying on this, I can completely make up for the shortcomings of the ultimate martial soul. Even if it is not as scary as before, my cultivation speed after level 30 should not be inferior to ordinary soul masters with innate soul power, right?" Tianlin walked up to Douluo and said, "How are you, old monster? My abilities are pretty good, right?" Do you want to join our 7 treasures glazed sect? With my help, I can at least guarantee that you can become a super level 95 or above. Douluo, Tianlin, revealed so many secrets to Qibao. In addition to knowing that as long as he got his approval, he could completely trust him because of the original work, he also wanted to recruit him. Qibao may not be very capable of fighting alone, but in group battles, his ability is comparable to a nightmare for low-level soul masters. With him, any human seed tactics will no longer be able to do anything to the generals of the 7 treasures glazed tile sect. To be honest, Qibao's heart was moved. Firstly, it was because Tianlin was sincere and trusted him so much that he told him the secrets of the twin martial souls without reservation. Secondly, it was the temptation of level 95 and above. He knew that he was old. Now that he is old, his potential has basically reached its end, and if he does not detoxify, he will not live for a few years at all. But now that he has the hope of embarking on a stronger state, how can he remain indifferent? And if Tianlin removes his poison, it will be a life-saving grace for him. Although Qibao must avenge his revenge, he must also repay his kindness. Little monster, let me think about it. Qibao was silent for a while before speaking. Although he yearns to be stronger, he also yearns for freedom and does not want to be burdened by the sect. Tianlin knew that his heart was already relaxed. It was better not to push too hastily at this moment. He immediately nodded and said, "Okay, old monster, I will stay here for half a year anyway. You have enough time to think about it. But please remember, I'm Qibao. The door of Liuli sect will always be open to you, and this is the guarantee from me, the future protector of the sect. Douluo, thank you." Qibao showed a smile. There were only a handful of times in his life when he said these 2 words, but today, he sincerely expressed his gratitude to Tianlin. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 49, Refining the Elixir, the 9th grade purple golden elixir. About a month has passed since he came to the Ice and Fire Eye. During this period, Tianlin had made all the preparations for detoxification. He had begun to prepare the medicine to suppress the poison. The medicine was introduced by himself after taking the star anise ice grass and any fire, crossing Geosparse blood point. Since taking these 2 immortal grasses, his golden body has become immune to fire, water, and poisons, and the blood in his body is also of great benefit in detoxifying. Tianlin's detoxification method for Qibao was the same as Tang San's in the original work, which was to find a carrier for the poison in his body, and Qibao happened to have a Medusa skull with poisonous properties, which was the best place to store the poison. Every day, Tianlin used the holy breath barrier, the refined antidote, and the method of guiding toxins created by Kogu to help Qibao detoxify. In just 1 month, the effect was extremely obvious. You can see Qibao's originally green hair and beard are all changing in the direction of graying. This is a sign that the poison is gradually fading away, and Qibao's soul power has inexplicably risen to level 92. This was only achieved after Tang San completely detoxified him in the original work. The original half-year time was Tianlin's conservative estimate, but looking at it now, only 3 or 4 months is enough. Beside the Binghuo Liangai, 2 figures, one old and one small, woke up from trance. Qibao took a deep breath, feeling the increasingly surging soul power in his body, and sighed. "Little monster, where did your meditation method come from?" "Yes, it's too advanced. Don't say you created it yourself. I don't believe it. Even a titled Douluo may not be able to create such a powerful technique. This is a secret. I can't tell you." Tianlin smiled and said everything he could, but there were some things that he decided to keep in his heart. "If you don't say, pull me down, I'm not interested." Qibao tilted his head arrogantly. He actually didn't mind. Everyone has their own secrets. Tianlin even has twin martial souls, ultimate attributes, and external soul bones. I told him, but I concealed it. That can only mean that this matter is far more important in Tianlin's heart than the first three. If he continues to inquire, he will be ignorant. In fact, the meditation method that Qibao is learning now is a small part of the Emperor Wa's meditation method. After integrating Qibao's exercises, Tianlin adapted it himself. To say that Tianlin created it himself is not entirely wrong. This set of exercises, the Dharma, is very suitable for Qibao to practice. Firstly, it allows him to better control the poison in his body. Secondly, since the new Empress, an immortal sword, is a god with the head of a human and the body of a snake, her skills are very suitable for Qibao, who has a snake-like martial spirit. Extremely high. With the help of this set of skills, Qibao fully believed that Tianlin's promise of helping him break through to level 95 and above was definitely achievable. In just 1 month, he has broken through to level 92, which is the best evidence. Okay, old monster, I'm going to continue refining the medicine. You can do whatever you want. Today's treatment is over. Tianlin stood up and came to the spring of the fire spring in the eyes of Binghuo Liangai. There, an alchemy furnace was hanging, and with the help of the extremely hot power of the fire spring, Tianlin was refining the elixir. Since this was his first time refining elixirs, Tianlin did not dare to directly use immortal herbs to refine them. Instead, he chose 2 strains of 9th grade purple zizhi. This kind of high quality medicinal herb is worth a lot of money in the outside world, but in this ice and fire eye, it can only be regarded as an ordinary product, and it is not like those fairy products that only have one, which is just right for testing. Little monster, what kind of elixir are you making? It's been almost a month, and you're still not feeling better? Qibao was bored and walked to Tianlin and sat down and asked, the elixir refined from the 9th grade purples is he as a base and supplemented by other medicines not only inherits the effects of the 9th grade purples is he in strengthening the body, replenishing ki and increasing energy, but it can also prolong life and cleanse the soul of the body, making it easier to break through the bottleneck in the future. Tianlin explained, it will take about a month to release this elixir. I think it will be in these few days. I just don't know how many there are. According to my book, it is written in the book that 2 strains of 9th grade purples is he can produce up to 6 pieces. Qibao was stunned after hearing this. What kind of magic medicine is this? It can not only increase one's skill, but also prolong life, cleanse one's soul, and help to break through bottlenecks in the future. The word elixir is really well deserved. Little monster, no, you must give me one of your treasures after you refine it. Qibao shamelessly requested. Old monster, why do you want this? I've prepared something better for you. Look over there. Tianlin pointed to the center of the ice and fire eye, where Tianlin placed a fruit. This is the snake scale fruit. Although it is not an immortal product, it is more effective than the 9th grade purple zizhi. It is especially suitable for people like you who have snake martial spirits. I will now cultivate it in the ice and fire eye center. In half a year, it will evolve into the ice fire snake scale fruit, and its effect is not weaker than any fairy herb. If you take it again by then, your martial soul may evolve as a result. Martial spirit evolution. Hearing this, Qibao suddenly became excited. If it is true, then this is much more precious than the 9th grade purple golden pill, because the purple golden pill only strengthens the quantity, while the ice fire snake scale fruit is qualitatively but soon, he thought of something else. Little monster, you seem to have only one ice fire snake scale fruit. Tianlin nodded. Yes, there is only one. The snake scale fruit grows on the snake-shaped tree. If it were not for the ice and fire eyes, it would take hundreds of years to produce one. I have picked it now. Next time, even with the acceleration of this treasure land, it will take at least several decades to mature. In this case, I don't want it anymore. Let's leave this fruit to Yan'an. She needs it more. Qibao finally chose to bear the pain and give up. He still loved his granddaughter more than the fairy medicine. Tianlin wanted to say that he had prepared a stronger one for Duguyan, that is, love sickness heartbroken red, because among them, only Duguan and Yu Xianheng are currently lovers, but after thinking about it, the requirements for taking love sickness heartbroken red are too high. taller. Although Dugu Yan loves Yu Xianheng very much, she probably doesn't love her to the extent that Xiao Wu loves Tang Xin in the original novel, so she may not be able to be moved by this flower. Tianlin thought for a while and said, in this case, old monster, you should give me a purple gold pill. In addition, I will find another gift for you. No need, little monster. It's already a great favor for you to detoxify me. I'm not greedy for that much. Douluo said with a smile. Tianlin retorted, no, old monster, maybe you don't understand. Many of the herbs in your ice and fire eyes are far more precious than life. Since you allow me to take them here, of course I have to do this for you. A gift from the master in return. Our Qibao glazed sect will never fail to repay a favor. Hearing this, Douluo suddenly had a sudden realization. Faith. This is indeed the foundation for the development of a power. Little monster, under your leadership, your sect will definitely reach an unprecedented peak. Well, thinking about it, Yan will marry into the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family sooner or later. It's time for me, an old man like me, to find a place to live a leisurely life. Little monster, if I go to the Seven Treasures Glazed sect, what will you do? Will you provide for me in my old age? Douluo really made a plan this time. Tianlin immediately said, of course, if you are willing to come to my place, I will be responsible for the rest of your life. Very good, ha 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 ha. Douluo's uncontrollable laughter echoed in the night sky. Chapter 50 Purple Golden Pill is released, and Tianlin breaks through level 30. After chatting with Douluo for half the night, Tianlin woke up under Douluo's push in the early morning of the next day. Hey, little monster, look at the alchemy furnace. Tianlin suddenly woke up when he heard the alchemy furnace and immediately sat up. He saw bursts of purple light flashing on the outer surface of the alchemy furnace. This is the sign that the purple gold elixir is ready. Old monster, help me pull the alchemy furnace over. Tianlin said excitedly. Douluo summoned the martial spirit green scale snake king and used the snake's tail to pull the alchemy furnace and put it in front of Tianlin. Tianlin stepped forward and opened the lid, and suddenly, a strong fragrance of medicine came out. Just smelling this medicinal fragrance makes my soul power condense. There is no doubt that you succeeded, little monster. Douluo sighed. Tianlin took the elixir out of the alchemy furnace and counted it. There were 6 golden elixirs in it, 5 of which were shining with purple gold light. The brilliance was flowing and mysterious. Alas. Tianlin sighed. Only 5 were successful, and the last one was considered a failure. The potency of the medicine was too much lost, and I'm afraid the effect is far less than the original 9th grade purple ZHI. You little monster, you are too greedy. As the sun waxes and the moon waxes, the heaven and the earth are not yet complete. Don't chase perfection too much. It will affect your state of mind. Douluo advised. Sometimes, accepting things when they are good is by no means a derogatory term. Although it seems that it is easy to be satisfied without ambition, but perhaps that is the limit that can be achieved. If we have to continue, the final result may be that the gains outweigh the losses. Tianlin smiled with relief. Old monster, you are right. I'm greedy. In fact, this alchemy has been considered a success. 5 9th grade purple gold elixirs are enough for me to distribute to many people. Old monster, I'll give you one first. You can also keep this failed one. Although it has lost its various magical functions, it contains a lot of medicinal power. If you encounter insufficient soul power next time, taking it when you are pregnant can restore at least 3 or 4 levels of your soul power, which can be regarded as a life-saving elixir. Thank you. Douluo accepted the elixir unceremoniously. He was planning to follow Tianlin in the future anyway, so there was no psychological burden at all for him to order the elixir. However, he doesn't plan to take it right away. Recently, he has been taking Tianlin's detoxifying elixir. If he takes it together, he is afraid that the potency of the medicine will conflict. He should wait until he is completely detoxified. After the refining of the purple gold pill was over, Tianlin did not intend to stop. He was just about to start now. The pill he really wanted to refine was the heaven building pill. Based on Qibao tulip, the most graceful and luxurious elixir in the world, can absorb the essence of heaven and earth and the brilliance of the sun and moon. Those who consume it can not only greatly improve their strength and qualifications, but also make up for all innate deficiencies, and become the most perfect and impeccable body point according to the alchemy chapter of Bakeolu and Kyogu. 1 kilo tulip can be used to refine up to 3 sky building pills. This was originally Tianlin's goal, but after being awakened by Qibao, he now decided to go all out, to refine just 2 pills. The third one is left to fate, whether it succeeds or fails, because 2 pieces are enough for Ning Fengzi and Ning Rangran to achieve the 9 treasure glazed tile pagoda point. However, the refining of the heaven building pill is not as simple as the purple gold pill. Both the herbs required and the refining time have been greatly increased. It takes 99 and 81 days. Among the many auxiliary medicinal materials, there are several high-quality elixirs that can compete with the 9th grade purple Zizki. Fortunately, here is the Ice and Fire Eyes, and he can find all he wants according to the records in the Kyogu book. Tianlin put in all the elixirs in proportion, and then sank the alchemy furnace into the fire spring. The water in the fire spring was more effective than any flame. This was an excellent place for alchemy. Time flies, and 60 days have passed in the blink of an eye. During this period, Tianlin went back to Xiandao Royal Academy twice, and met with several members of the Huangdao team and Zuking respectively, to prevent them from worrying. In addition, Sword Douluo Chengxin has also been here once. He has no objection to Tianlin learning poison from Qibao. After all, it is easy to hide from open guns and hard to prevent hidden arrows. After learning this, it will be much safer for Tianlin to travel to the mainland in the future. But he couldn't ignore Tianlin's soul power growth. He was worried that he would only focus on learning poison and neglect his own cultivation. But when he saw that Tianlin's soul power level had reached level 29, he was satisfied. Leave. Today, Tianlin is going out again, because after 3 months of practice, he not only completely sorted out the 3rd level soul power that the fairy grass had given him, but also finally broke through to level 30. Tianlin is only about 9 years old now, 3 years earlier than the original Tang, who broke into level 30 at the age of 32. The Sunset Forest is one of the gathering places for soul beasts on the Douluo Continent after the Stardao Forest. Here, it is very convenient for him to hunt soul beasts. As for the person who helps, of course it is Qibao. With this old monster here, it is also he went back to find Chenzin for help. Qubiao's hair now has not only completely returned to the grayish white of a normal old man, but is even slowly turning black. His detoxification is almost complete. Although his level is still level 92, it is not hindered by toxins. It is necessary to separate the soul power to suppress the poison in the body. When it can be used at will, the actual combat power is almost twice as strong as before. Little monster, what kind of soul beast are you looking for? I have lived in this sunset forest for decades, and I have a good understanding of the large and small soul beast gathering places here. No matter what you want, I can find it for you. Qibao said that he was very grateful to Tianlin, so he always wanted to find opportunities to repay him. Although hunting soul beasts is not a big favor, it is still a little kindness, right? Then, thank you in advance, old monster. What I'm looking for is a wind attributed soul beast. As for the age, it's probably around 5,000 to 6,000 years. Do you know where it can be found? Tianlin asked about his 3rd soul. Huan, I already had an idea. Qibao stopped when he heard this. I know, but you are sure to choose such a high lifespan. Do you know that the limit of the 3rd soul ring life of a regular soul master is about 1,700 years? You have surpassed it. That's as many as 3,000 years. Old monster, I know you are worried about me, but please don't worry. I won't do anything I'm not sure about. My 2nd soul ring has already entered the millennium. After getting the external soul bone, my mental power is strong enough to rival the soul sect. Now, after passing through the ice and fire alchemy body, my physical strength has caught up, and I can absorb 5 or 6,000 years of soul rings without any problem. Tianlin said with great confidence. Okay, then I, the old monster, will accompany you, the little monster, to go crazy for once. Come with me, you have to be mentally prepared. I don't love you as much as your master, and I will also find someone who is not aggressive for you. Soul Beast. Qibao already had some concerns in his mind. Point in a canyon on the west side of the Sunset Forest. There is a kind of soul beast that is very suitable for Tianlin, but it is very fierce. Absorbing such a spirit ring is much more difficult than absorbing the purple fire golden eye beast. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.